Oh, damn. I got 5. I got 4.
Spin City. Yeah. Spin City on the screen, got the room on 10. Breaking news, panel smoke, then he does it again. The bass in the morning, debauchery at night. He steps in loud and he don't back right. Clip it, post it, watch the chat explode. One more take, then he takes the road. He talks that talk with a grin and a stare. The other side's talking, he already there. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. Panels in a circle, everybody wants a turn. He leans in hard, let the hot takes burn. Protest on the ticker, riot in the thread. He talks over the chaos with a raised up head. Yell a little louder, make the point land clean. Cut through the noise like a headline machine. If they come for the room, he comes right back. One more flash and the whole beat snaps. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. When the mics get hot and the comments fly, he laughs at the noise and he calls it live. One more round, let the sparks go wide. Spin City standing on the right side. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. We are back as promised from the earlier stream. Tonight's prompt is, do we need immigrants to maintain, rebuild infrastructure? Mr. Balderson, our resident bald guy, good evening, sir.
Gotta have a bald guy around.
Wait a minute, there's two of us. We only
Right,
need one or
right.
two.
No, well, you don't got a beard. You don't count.
No, I have to trim that shit down, Anyway, we got a full panel backstage. We have what?
Trim it down. It looks like a baby's butt over there.
It is. We've got our resident beautiful school of thought. We have Mr. Clay. And of course, the guy that thinks the moon isn't real. Salty Santa for the win. Admiral Gibbs, sir. We have Donald Trump and the Krautmick on the panel. Gentlemen, we are going to do a round robin. I'm going to move you around on the panel. As we get started here, Miss Nova Star, the prompt is, do we need immigrants to maintain / rebuild infrastructure? We are live now on the Spin City News Channel, Mr. Benjamin Balderson Channel X, Rumble Pilled, the Admiral Gibbs Channel, and of course, the Nova Star channels. All of them. We are on the Krautmick channel and the Toasty or the Hard Talk Toasty channel. Miss Nova Star, start us out.
Okay. Don't get this confused. So here's my opening statement. So America absolutely, with all the baby boomers and whatnot, hitting retirement age, we need all of those enough skilled workers again to rebuild roads, right? Bridges, power grids, water systems, housing. But The debate isn't whether the work needs to be done, it's who is going to do it and under the policies, right? So immigrant labor currently plays the major role in today's industries, but the long-term solutions also include workforce training, apprenticeships, increasing labor participation among Americans. But let's also remember, before we had all of this, it was American citizens who built it first. So that's where I'm starting. Next.
Awesome. Mr. Admiral Gibbs, sir, your opening statements, please.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, the answer is, yeah, we are going to need the immigrants. You know why? Because the Dems have created a cesspool. They've created a cesspool of uneducated, lazy people, or hyper-educated, super specialized in stuff that doesn't matter people. And then they have done the same thing, and they've dumbed us all down. These people don't know how to do anything. We all have to work 3 service jobs, and they're complaining there's these service jobs that they can't work from home. All they know how to do is work from home. Listen, I like to work from home as much as the next guy, but that's because I've made it to the point where I can work from home. Before this, I was out in the heat, working, going door to door, knocking on businesses. I was putting fence posts in the ground. I was doing all this shit. That was terrible. It was terrible, but it made me the man I am today. And these people now, they can't do it. So we're going to have to use the immigrants in the interim because we're just going to need bodies to do the work. Now, the good news is we can also hire American, and if we reform our immigration system, we can mainly focus on making sure America grows with many of the things that Nova Star said, where we have trade schools, we have other entry-level ways, programs in the companies, all these things. These are all necessary, but yeah, in the interim, we are going to need the migrants because the Dems have fucked us.
Get them, kids.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Clay. Mr. Clay, your opening statement, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you. This is an interesting topic here. I was looking up some things. It said that well over a quarter of the infrastructure workforce is manned by immigrants. Now that's interesting on itself. Since we're doing statistics here. You could probably guess where most of that is, right? So when you get up into like the northern Midwestern states, it's not much. But particularly California, Texas, Florida, Nevada, New York, and Maryland are insanely compact with immigrant workers. All of them are over 30. California and Texas use 40%, and Florida uses 38%, and then New York is 37%. Now, I could imagine that New York's kind of surprising, but then when you look at Maryland being 34% as well, I mean, these numbers are astronomical. Like that's wild. And then there's a bunch of southern, well, not all the southern, like the eastern southern, and then the state where I'm at, New Mexico, and the Four Corner states are high as well. So yeah, the numbers are astronomical. I'm just finding it very crazy. I'll let that be my opening statement.
Awesome. Thank you, Clay. Mr. Salty, I don't believe the moon is real, Santa. Your opening statement, sir.
Well, I think this is a good opportunity to take advantage of the generations that are retiring. I mean, they tended to be service people. They tended to be oriented towards a strong America. And a lot of them could pass on generational knowledge of how to do these things. And I think when I'm all for merit-based, who's going to get the job, who's going to do the work. I know that I've worked alongside people that were here illegally, and I can tell you they worked hard every day, and I did too. So let's get this thing done, and then maybe that's a pathway to citizenship like military service, for example.
All righty, Santa. Thank you. Mr. Krautmick, your opening statement, sir.
What's up? Santa, that's actually a really good idea what you just stated. I think we definitely need immigrants to build this country. I mean, without diving too much into who made the country or immigrants, I think a little bit of both. But yeah, without going off the prompt, I know illegal immigrants are going to get brought up during the open panel part. But yeah, as far as immigrants go, yeah, I think we definitely need them. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's all I got. I'm not really used to opening statements, Spin. So I yield my time.
Thank you very much. Donald J. Trump Mocha, your opening statement, sir.
So first off, I'll start with Mocha, make Orthodox guy cry again, 2028. Second off, I'll tell you that we don't need the immigrants. We can just simply replace the 30% that goes into the construction with our young, strong, able-bodied American men. They're quite capable. They're quite skilled. They can do it. We had them doing it before. We can have them do it again, just like it's 1945. Thank you.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Donald J. Trump Mocha, for the win. Bring us for the win.
Yeah, legal ones. That's my closing statement, opening statement. We just need legal ones.
Frankly, it couldn't be shorter. That's the best.
It is the best statement that we've ever seen, like nobody's seen before. Cameron Flynn, your opening statement.
I agree with like basically everyone that we at the moment we need them unless we like fully automatize or I think ideally a national workforce like FDR did to build like public works. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Is that your opening statement, sir?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what else to add. Like, for the moment, we need migrants, I guess, yeah, to maintain it.
Yeah, because we got to train our boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Mr. Balderson, your opening statement, sir.
I gotta half agree with Gibbs on this. And I wouldn't blame it just on the Democrats because the Republicans are certainly full of Andrew Wilson types that couldn't open a pickle jar to save their life. The problem is that kids today all want to be streamers or gamers or whatever, and they think that they're above doing the manual labor type work. You see that in debates when we talk about bringing back manufacturing and things like that. They will say that with reply to that with things like, well, we need to work on high value jobs and things like that. So they all think that they need to work corporate jobs without understanding that the majority of the jobs have always been infrastructure, farming, manufacturing, and that the service jobs, the AI, that's one of the first things that shit's taken, is them service jobs away. I don't know historically either if we've ever particularly had the workforce without immigrants. The train system was mostly built by the Chinese. Even the federal roadways were heavily built by Mexicans. And just the general United States, because we lack the replacement rate that we need to have for our social systems to work, because they work on a pyramid scheme. We need more workers under us, and these kids of ours, the white kids, they don't want to fucking work.
That is one of the biggest things. And then I will make my opening statement, and we will open the panel up. I do not believe we need immigrants to do things that we can do as a society. I agree that with Mr. Balderson in part, where no offense to anybody, but playing a fucking game on the internet and the influence, hey, give me $10 and I'm gonna blow this up, or hey, I am just the best at this game, and people actually pay for this kind of content. And I do agree that young people need to get off their lazy ass and go to work. No, don't knock it before you try it.
Can I add to that? Are you done with your statement?
Sure, go ahead.
I understand, Benjamin, that in
Floor-
your industry.
The floor is open, Nova. Have at it.
Okay, so Ben, I understand that in your industry, as well as in my dad's industry when he had making pallets and whatnot. Okay, I understand that reality, but the truth is they've been pushing the propaganda of work smarter, not harder, since the early 70s. If you really want to backtrack some of that, you can go check out some of Mike Rowe's stuff on this. And basically all trade skills for males have been eradicated out of the system. So like if you reintroduced back agriculture, I'm pretty sure a lot of the boys and some of the girls would be getting involved. But you got to remember, it's what children are getting exposed to. That's part of the issue.
Right, where they need to take away their little video games and take away their tabbies and make them go the fuck outside and play with sticks again.
Yes, but those things used to be taught in the public school system. All those things have been taken out of the school system, including home ec, taking care of children, typing schools for girls, secretary work, all that type of stuff that used to be there. Like my grandmother, she was born in 1934, all right, and she raised me. Okay, here's an example. So by the time I hit about 12 years old, she still had her books from high school, and one of them were etiquette. Can you believe that? They actually taught etiquette and how to groom yourself and how to be clean, how to eat with your utensils properly. How many boys, when you sit across from them, just no offense, girls, we're just going to talk about boys right now, but how many boys do you sit across and they don't even know how to hold their utensils properly and eat? And they eat like gorillas. Seriously. And it's a massive turnoff. So, children need to be taught. They have to have examples set for them, and they have to have a vision. Without the vision, the people perish. That's just how it is.
Well, one of the things that I think made a stronger America before, even with its other flaws, is there was a sense of we. There was, there was civics taught in school. There was the expectation, if you come here as an immigrant, you're not bringing your country, you're coming to ours. You can bring your flavor. You have your own expression of what that means for you. But I think back to the Scots and the Irish up in the Northeast. There were not just these enclaves where there was a place where you were Scots or Irish working on those canals to the exception of everyone else, and they're playing the music that they want to. I'm okay with people having their own identity, but if you're coming here to be an American, and a visa is not an American, but if you're coming here to be an American, take on this culture, help make it better.
Yeah, assimilate. If you're not going to assimilate, get the fuck out of here.
I agree with Santa in that aspect. Santa, were you done? Yeah.
I mean,
basically what Santa said. I despite what some people on here might think of me, I have no problems with people coming to this country, and I feel like immigrants can add a huge part to the infrastructure, and work that job, but be here legally. That's my main issue. Conform to American ideas, or like Nova said, assimilate. But I think conform is a better terminology. I feel like assimilate, you're I don't know. Word semantics. I don't want to get into it, but America is better for immigrant infrastructure. Just be here legally. That's all I ask. And learn the language. All of our documents are written in English. Learn the American language, at least basic shit. I don't want to ask you which way is Taco Bell and do, but that's my take.
Fuck are you asking for directions to Taco Bell for?
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
That's the first thing that came to mind. If you come across some foreign immigrant that can't speak English and you ask some simple shit like that, and they can't fucking tell you. And then they get pissed at you.
My name is Pablo, Juan Carlos, Alejandro González, María Lucia Mendoza, Macarena Chipotle, Tapatio con queso, guacamole, Ferreira, Santiago Rodriguez, but everybody calls me Bobby.
All right, Bobby.
That's funny.
Bobby.
But
We love Bobby.
I that's funny that Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog right there with all that. But I gotta say, if of all the groups of people that have flair with naming their towns, I mean, white people, let's just be honest, not so good. The Hispanics, the Spaniards, they're like San Antonio, Santa Rosa de Maricon, like all sorts of that. That's just badass. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, get some. It's
I don't know
called
what the fuck you're
aura.
talking about.
Aura.
sounds like blunt.
We're gonna have to
Boston
check.
is-
I rest my case. Blunt.
Boston's
Wow.
pretty badass.
That's a great
Portsmouth,
name, Boston.
Yeah,
Boston.
South
Jacksonville.
Boston.
I know some
All those
DACA
names are
people.
No
who came
aura.
into the Dreamers,
Jackson,
and they all
literally
speak
That's not
the
aura.
same language.
does
Security,
just
security,
What we want.
At least I
Hey,
can
Clay, you know
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Hey,
gonna
Clay,
have
you know
to
what I
figure
want
it
to do one
He's
day?
gonna get better with that tongue, you know.
Oh, my tongue's
Clay,
just
I-
fine, brother. Yeah, it
Oh,
works. just
I'm
fine.
gonna
It just
visit
doesn't
South
need to
Boston
talk to
one
you.
day.
Hey, listen, I need to talk to something. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God.
I mean, but here's the thing.
Is
for
this
real,
going to
though.
the gutter?
If the
Yeah,
signs
it's
are
after,
in,
it's after 10 o'clock on a Friday.
San Antonio is the English word for San Antonio, right? So when I go to San Antonio, I go to San Antonio. I don't go to San Antonio, right? It's not Mexico, it's Texas.
Is that an Italian speaking?
That was Italian, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
San
What that
Antonio,
so.
I don't know all that yet.
Hey,
All that shit, yeah.
okay.
What's the difference? I mean, really, what's the difference? What is the
Hold up.
difference here? We're talking about a Mediterranean, huh?
The Italian
You
and
might as well be Greek. It's all
Spanish
Greek to me.
language actually sound very similar.
Yeah, so the thing is like Balderson, right? Like you guys aren't even white. Spaniards aren't white. Italians aren't white. Greeks aren't white. So I don't know why you guys even want to.
Sir, I resemble that comment.
Hold up, Clay, I agree with you. Motherfuckers be looking at me sideways when I be saying pure-blooded Italians are not fucking white, and they're not. Same
They are
Greeks
not
are
white.
fucking
That
Yeah.
is the dingleberry of Europe.
Yeah, they're
Ben,
from the
we're gonna have to call Tom
Mediterranean.
Homan.
Motherfuckers be looking at me
Don't flip
like
me
I'm
off,
crazy
Spin.
when
Don't
I'm
do that.
saying
That's rude. That's very rude of you.
Would that make
Very rude. You
I
fake
mean-
news
would
media.
that make
Hey.
Spain the gonad?
Hold up, there is a
That makes
theory.
Spain the pinnacle. That makes Spain the pinnacle, the cream of the crop.
Bro, you are
Hold
low
up,
hanging
kid.
fruit right
Anybody
now.
can spend $10 one dono to bounce somebody off the panel.
not
Listen to
bouncing
this.
me. I'm
There
the
is a
greatest.
theory that Italians way back in the fucking day looked like Germans, but somebody from Africa was hopping the fence.
The
agreeing with
Moors.
Italians.
No.
The Moors.
That's
The
how they-
Moors. The Moors.
The Moors.
It's
Okay, yeah, that's how they
Mediterranean,
got
man.
the-
You guys are all Mediterranean. Like you all look. You
Yeah,
all.
you were never
I'm not
white.
Mediterranean.
I have green
I'm
eyes. Am I
European, bro.
Mediterranean
You're
still?
not.
What? Come
You're
on, bro.
not.
Look at my name, bro.
I'm a mud.
I'm
so
100%
here's the thing.
European.
I'm like 97% Basque, which is like one of the only tribes that can trace their roots all the way back on Europe that never moved. It's like one of the oldest groups. I'm a Neanderthal. Get some.
Shut up, you Mexican.
Unkillable. Yeah, that's right.
So
no,
are you telling
no,
me are you telling me you have
A
Jewish
boy,
roots,
God.
sir? Is that
No, I'm
what
telling you, I got a cranium about yay thick. If I was Jewish roots, I'd be a lot richer.
Failure.
That's true.
Nope.
That's
Hey,
true.
kids,
I don't
look at
either.
this. This is a Neanderthal right here.
You're a Neanderthal.
That's a Neanderthal right there. That's a Neanderthal.
Yes, I'm a witch.
That's a
Right.
very witchy
No.
woman.
I thought you
Yeah,
were
when
just
we're
Look
talking
there.
the fun.
super white
my
skin
room.
people, for whatever reason, we all live on the same parallel. We like that parallel. If you get above it, it turns brown, and if you go below it, it turns brown. And that's where you get them Italians and Greeks and things like that. They weren't when you talk about white people, it's Northern European, it's the Germanic tribes, the Icelandic, Norwegian,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Danish.
Celt and Gales.
Yeah.
Didn't all the
Yay,
Northern
Alex.
Europeans, didn't they all hail from
Gallic.
Norway? Like they're all basically
No,
from
it's
there?
originally the Germanic tribes is from your oldest history on it anyways. It's the Germanic tribes. But where white people would have started is Indo-Asia. So it's the border of Asia and Northern Europe, right in that area.
Yeah.
So when you look at the old stories, actually
Caucasus.
Mongols, there's Mongols in our stories that are actually heroes and things like that in the stories, because we're most closely related to the Mongols.
When the Celts came all the way down, swung down into Lower Europe, and then kept going up to the Isles, British Isles.
Yeah, it's better not to fight with the Mongols. It's better to be friends with them. That's just with that.
Yeah.
They do
That's
knock
what
down
she
shitty
said.
walls. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're better off not fighting with them. and I have not heard good things.
Now, going back to the prompt, though, I mean, it sounds like there was general agreement. So, with the people that are here legally, you know, just framing that as the people who are already here.
Yes.
What, just pushing a little bit further, perhaps. Okay. What about the people who were here with some sort of application in, begun the process, and have not been breaking the laws otherwise?
That's legal.
We can give them building visas, and then they can go the fuck back.
I mean, I agree. I don't remember who said that this has been going on for a while now when they were talking about what I said earlier, and I don't disagree. When I was 18, 19, 20, I was a construction worker, and even the concrete workers and the sheet rockers and things were all white guys. And then now over the years, it went to all the concrete workers are now Mexicans. All the sheet rockers are now Mexicans. Really, the only thing that's not immigrants at this point in the construction field is basically your electricians, your HVAC, and your turd herders.
Union jobs. That's the distinction.
Yeah,
you're more talking about residential. That's where a lot of the immigrants were.
Well, even in industrial, all the laborers, even in commercial, all the laborers, dude. In commercial, I've been on commercial sites. The Greeley fucking high school when they rebuilt that, and then the auditorium, fucking the immigration bus showed up, and that fucking construction site stopped working. All of a sudden, there was like 12 white guys looking around, going, "Well, fuck." Like,
who's gonna mix the cement now?
Yeah.
Now, I remember when there was a deal under Reagan, and there was another amnesty, and then I believe after that still was the DACA or Dreamers Act. Is this something we just face every 15 years and don't really resolve?
Yes, that's their solution. Let them all pile in and then make them legal at the end.
Well, it's again, white people want to take these what they consider upper class jobs, even though fucking half them paperwork jobs you're making not near as much as a trade job.
True.
But they're sitting in an office, so they're happy about that. Not only does that happen, but again, our replacement rate is a problem. And so we just don't have enough people. And again, our social safety nets are built on a pyramid scheme. We need to have more people underneath us to pay for the ones above. So those boomers, they're the only that started this system. They're the only ones getting the full checks. And until they're gone, we're all paying into paying for their system. And then maybe if there's anything left over, Gen X will get a few cents. But at the bottom of that pyramid, we don't have the people to fill it out.
Make having great babies great again. You
Here.
fill it all out with babies, and then you're good to go. You'll refill out the bottom of the pyramid scheme, Balderson. That's all you got to do.
I agree. I got 7 kids of my own. I've been working on it. The rest of you fucks are slacking.
Hold up, I got 3, and I'm 39.
Yeah.
So give us some
Great.
right?
55. Yeah,
50.
it's interesting with
Mine's
Gen
growing-
X.
mine's
So
growing
I've got
exponentially.
millennial and Gen Y, and I've got to say now, this youngest one, she's definitely learned how to work, and that's really going to set her apart from her peers. I mean, and I wonder if that's why there isn't some reward for, going out and doing the hard work. There's some way to privilege those things. The military gave a lot of us some money for college. There's got to be something else that we incentivize people to go sweat a little bit, but learn how to do these trade jobs that really are going to make us stronger.
Yeah, it's called kick them the fuck out of your house. We as a parents, there's
Sure.
a whole
That's
generation.
what my parents did.
Where I'm the latchkey generation, and we're the ones that really started this and fucked this up because we're all traumatized about not having parents. So we're the parents that showed
You wanna
up
keep
for
your
like
kids
an
home
hour a
forever?
day. Yeah, we're traumatized by that shit. So we're the hover parents that that our kids can stay in the house till they're 30 in the basement. Like, that's absolutely insane. Kick them the fuck out. Guess what? When they need a place to stay and want some food and some drugs or something, they're gonna go get a damn job because they have to pay for their weed like the rest of us did.
That's right, Ben. It's either ass, grass, or cash. They don't ride for free.
Damn straight.
Damn straight.
You got to remember these rules.
Yeah, Boulder, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I was given an option, and luckily, I basically what your parents did. Get a job, get the fuck out at a certain amount of time. And if I didn't, I would have been homeless. So I had no choice but to succeed in that. Same thing. I was told now I don't know if this is true or not, but my stepfather told me if I fail my driver's license, you're getting kicked out. I think he was joking with that, but I wasn't.
He was joking.
I wasn't willing to fucking test this. So I fucking passed that shit with flying colors. I only got 2 fucking questions wrong. And I'm in Jersey, so we got 40 questions in general. I heard New York only got 20 questions. That's why they're so fucking horrible at driving. But New Jersey, we got 40. And you got to answer 30 of them, at least 30 of them.
Yeah, my dad booted me out when I was 16. I've been living on my own since I was 16. My dad said, "You got 2 fucking jobs. You're making more money than I am. Get the fuck out of my house." Like, well, fine.
Yeah. I was 18 or 19. Yeah.
My parents tricked me. They told me we were going on a vacation, and then the next thing I knew, I was dropped off at military school. But boy, that really straightened me out. Fuck you, Democrats. They've been lying to me since forever. My father was a Democrat. He's a fucking liar.
Both parties lie. Both parties lie.
Can we answer this question in the morning? Because the next one, and there might not be a New York City left, so we might need a lot of help actually rebuilding New York now.
Well, again, there's not. The thing is they act, and this is from the last debate with the H-1B. It's not that we lack skilled or educated workers, because we've got all kinds of McDonald's full of college graduates. Like fucking, we're so top heavy that they sold college to every fucking kid. Like every kid's supposed to go to college. Most you people aren't even half smart enough to go to college, but that shit's a pyramid scheme too. So they needed to keep more people coming in. So they just sold it to a bunch of people that should have never went to college.
I think that it's twofold though, right? So like I think what happened if we look at history, right? You had the boomers, and then I'm gonna probably mess up which gens what, and then the gym right under them, right? And they went into this world, Gen X, right? And then they went into this world where if you went to college, you did come out and you were guaranteed a high paying job, like with a master's, right?
Yeah.
And like they
that
came out.
That was the pre-NAFTA, manufacturing.
But so I think that a lot of them, they went through this, and then when there was this NAFTA, the 90s came, the 90s, people were doing better, right? Like because like the bubbles and like overall, so people didn't really understand what was happening, and so they pushed their kids thinking, "Oh, this is what worked for me. This also semi-worked for my grandparents that didn't go into the go to war or to the Depression, but were younger." Right. This is like, so they're like, "Okay, this is the system," and I think a lot of them honestly believe that system. And then what happened is, I think about halfway through, is these kids like I'm lucky that I use my degree, right? But my degree is a liberal arts degree. It's poli-sci, my undergrad, and like basically I went into sales like almost immediately after I worked in the government, right? So I went from government, then I went down to sales, and immediately I got lucky with that, right? However, if you went to liberal arts, you got a liberal arts degree, and like I don't know the psychology of painters in the 1860s. Worthless, right? Like, and so these kids get out and they're thinking, "Oh, I can parlay this into a lot of jobs," because back then you could do that because it was just a sign that you could commit to something for 4 years and then they would hire you. But now they're like, "Oh, we actually need you to be credentials in our field. We need all these things." And so they pushed all these different things. They expanded these colleges, and like it's like there's too many of these things, right? Like I think A&M, right, massive school. You probably want them to have as many different things at once because they're going to have the top people. Now the San Marcos, the fucking little Bobcats or whatever, they're a big school too. They probably don't need a fucking large Hadron Collider at their campus, right? And so it's like they've over specialized. At the same time, they've told all these other kids, "Oh, well, now you know the system doesn't work." And so like these kids have to go into service jobs that are like not the same versus these manufacturing jobs. Maybe they weren't like, "I'm going to be rich," Like, but they're like, you're guaranteed a minimum, not a minimum, a moderate middle class wage because you're doing like skilled labor. And I think that's really crushed us because they did believe the myth, and because they believed it, they pushed something that didn't work anymore. And now, by the time they realized it didn't work, at least these newer gens know it. But the millennials are the ones who are especially screwed because we like bought in hook, line, and sinker to it. And got fucked.
Sure. I used to mentor people in FIRST robotics, so that's in the higher realm of STEM, right?
Nice.
And what I was seeing is if you weren't in that higher level, then you were going to be forced down, and that's part of the H-1B argument as well. And so with my own kids, I said, find what you love and learn service or technical, because soon a degree is not going to matter. I stopped even going for my graduate school because it just didn't matter anymore. It was my experience that kept me in management and executive functions, but the degree just wasn't mattering anymore. And that had to be 95, 98, somewhere in there.
I mean, when it comes to college, the real problem is when the federal government started subsidizing all these student loans. Once they became the payers, then the cost of college and everything just fucking skyrocketed, and all these colleges popped out of, nowhere, kind of a thing. Now they're fucking
especially
everywhere.
State colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Even the better private colleges have hoarded themselves out. Like every college, the 2020, the thing it proved, and this was a joke that I made that fucking Owen Benjamin, a professional comedian, died about. I said 2020 proved that all fucking colleges are University of Phoenix. Like that shit is equal to every single one of them. Like every kid was doing college the same as University of Phoenix. It's all just a freaking scam. We've all anybody that's worked any type of job, you've met the college kids that come in right out of college and they are worthless every time. Zero fields have I ever heard. Oh, that kid came from college. They really taught him the field. He really knows his stuff. Like that.
And to that point, Ben, they teach you in college by the book. And the book is just not applicable to everyday real world work.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy.
Even in technical fields, I found that to be true.
My first, I went to because I was ahead on my credits in high school, and because technical stuff was more focused on back then, or your ability to focus on it if you wanted to. I got sent to Votech when I was in high school, and fucking that shit was great. Mechanics was, but you didn't get paid for shit. Now mechanics are actually getting paid because nobody wants to go get greasy. Why?
I think it's fun. I work on my Harley.
I wouldn't go that far with it. It's a good way to learn how to cuss a lot.
Like, yeah, I mean, and this is another thing. Like, okay, I don't like to go out and do the labor no more because I feel like I paid my dues and done that shit, right? And if I can, I'll go and pay somebody to do my maintenance of my car. But if I'm out in the middle of nowhere and something breaks down,
you are at the age you should feel like that, Gibbs. Fucking,
right.
The problem is these 20-year-olds feel like that.
Well,
they're
right.
coming out of college, thinking that they
going.
know everything and that they are the ones that should be in the boss position. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, they want to tell you
they should be in the boss position and they don't know fuck all.
Well, that's where I'm going with this. It's like a lot of them also just don't have like the gumption to like go follow through with something, right? So like I'll give you an experience like I have all the time. It was some of my younger salespeople. Is like something will go wrong. And like they're gonna have to do a deal that they don't want to do or something. And I'm like, okay, listen, sometimes you just gotta power through and you gotta like suck up your pride or you gotta do whatever. If like you get stranded, instead of like waiting 8 hours for I don't know, your cousin to come get you, just start walking your ass down. It might take you an hour to get to the gas station, walk your ass back. It might suck, but like if you just commit to a journey, whether it's like the best option, half the time by the time you figure out what the best option is, you might already be done with the second best or the third best. And so like these people don't have that like, oh, I'm just gonna handle this right now. Like, there's no, like, I think it's even a bigger crisis. There's no, like, it doesn't even have to be a leadership. There's, like, no, like, drive. They don't have drive. At all. And because leaders, yeah, just could come from anywhere. But, like, if you have no drive, like, when the going gets tough, then you're just going to, like, all the time. And I don't know how to get that in these people.
That's a laziness problem, sir.
I think it's a bigger issue than laziness.
It's also just a will.
It is. It's a bigger issue.
They have no will.
Yeah,
They don't have to,
That's
though.
what I call laziness.
That's
Not having a will to do it. That's laziness. And you know what? That's actually scriptural. So, like, I mean, we are living in a time where, there's a bunch of lazy people. Now, if you compare that with these other people who are willing to come in, who aren't quote unquote lazy, and they're coming in. You know, I was just looking up that it's like 66,000 is the cap for HB2. So if that's the case, right? You know, sometimes they give a lift on that, like so they'll add in some more slots for that. But those are legally documented workers. Where I'm looking at that, going, okay, well, if that's the case, I mean, and there's like over 1 million, sometimes 2 million, any given season, undocumented workers. Like, that's such a massive gap, such a difference in numbers, that I'm looking at that going, okay, well, if that's the case, then something's off here. Either we are not accounting for the production that we need, or either that, or these people who are undocumented here are working these undocumented jobs, and then I would actually put that on the business owners themselves, right? So if the business owners don't have the slot for the 66,000, why is it that they're taking advantage of these people, right? And then why isn't the government actually prosecuting them when they are doing these illegal activities? And I would say it's probably because something along the lines of the political thing that you guys were talking about in the very beginning. Dems and Republicans, not one-sided. Essentially, it's going to benefit this end, whatever it is, whether it's construction or farming or whatever, right? You got
any laborious job.
Yeah, any laborious job, right? So both sides are benefiting in various ways.
Clay,
Hell, I've benefited a lot.
So I'm gonna jump in here for just a minute.
Okay.
And I've got a comment up on the screen.
Brown's gas machine's right above me, brother.
The United States was founded 250 years ago. I don't think anybody up here can dispute that, right? 250 years ago, immigrants came to this country.
249 years ago.
This country.
Before that, yeah.
249 years in fucking.
Okay.
My family about 1740.
Okay.
600 years, actually. Almost.
Sure. So, yes, immigrants found this country. I'm sure everybody can agree up here on the panel.
Absolutely.
What we are talking about is 250 years later, there are laws. There were laws that were implemented when, Clay?
1776 to start, and then
In
1789.
1776, there were laws implemented about immigration to the United States of America, or the United, what is it, Clay? I apologize.
That was 1789 with the Constitution, and then actually some more immigration laws came in later in the late 1800s. But really, if you really look down at the foreign affairs, that technically is the Constitution. So I will give it that. So 1789.
Right. So 1789, there was the Constitution of the United States says what about immigration, Clay?
The Constitution? Well, it wasn't really clear on immigration at the time. Now, later on, the U.S. Code implemented laws, and it did throughout the history. In fact, if you really look into the founding of the various states and their statehood and their actual application for statehood each time, there was a rigorous process for each state and their statehood and those individuals who were living in those states and would be coming into those states. Every state is different when it comes to statehood, but on the grander scale, the federal code, that was the later 1800s. Let's be clear. Immigration or migrancy, if you will, even through the states before the feds really took it over, there was a rigorous process moving from state to state and having your state be the state that you're from. It's not
Correct.
like you just moved to somewhere and then, all of a sudden you just set up camp. There was property rights back then, just like there are property rights now.
Absolutely. So my point is, back then they had a hard time crossing a border, right? Might have been a border of a state.
Yeah.
Now,
the state borders then, yeah.
So for
even before
250 years, we've had borders.
Yeah, even before that, the colonies had borders, right? And so even the colonies themselves would set up laws.
I forgot about that.
Oh my God, borders with the colonies? Blasphemy, sir.
Right. So
you guys are picking a fight now.
I do want to bring up that it wasn't Immigration Act; it was a Naturalization Act about citizens.
Right.
I'm sorry. It was in 17.
Okay, so my point to this whole fucking argument is, what in the fuck is the big deal that the United States have a motherfucking wall around it and we can govern who comes into this country? Fucking please tell me that. Oh, nobody's illegal. Fuck you.
Because they want us to be the commodity of the world. Everybody gets a piece of it, and they can kiss my fat ass. I want to touch on one thing that Clay said, because he was absolutely
I'm not sure
correct.
that's the deterrent that you think it was going to be.
You're probably right,
Well,
but
nine.
Some people, nine.
And then it works
Hold up,
out.
Spin. I'm gonna let you
on.
finish your thought, but I just want to add real quick. If you want to benefit from America, work for America.
Amen.
You can benefit
Yeah.
from America while working for it. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That type of shit. But go ahead.
Which
Spin.
now I got to ask, which illegal immigrants are coming in that are just hanging out in their grandma's basement? This is part of why I said. This is part of why I say I would rather have these fucking these little rich kids get deported than half the freaking immigrants I've ever met.
So
They're little jackasses. They're the ones down at the fucking riots. That's
where do you think we're going to be in 50 years, Ben?
Well, I would have to agree with Balderson on that point, but there are caveats to what he said. But ultimately, I do agree with Balder's statement.
Well, I want to maybe
and make them go to work again.
Can I make
Create
one
the
correction
pressure.
here? The reason I didn't
make their
actually
parents stop paying for them.
the reason I didn't actually include the Naturalization Act of the 1790s is because it actually only included white persons, whereas the one in 1870, this is why I was referring to the one in the later 1800s, is because it actually referenced people other than just white people. So
go ahead, Gibbs.
I also, my chat actually brings up something good, a good point that I like. For instance, back to a debate I did against Destiny, right? One of the things I bitched about was how these corporate farms, which if you know anything about ranching, it's 97% family owned. But of that, there's some kind of their family, but they're really just the fronts for the corporations. And that's only about 15 to 70%, which is still astoundingly low. Right, that you have an industry where it's 83% family owned, right? Okay, versus when you have farming, right? Like you have all these companies that are now under what I think it's Bayer. They used to be Monsanto. They're massive corporations, and they have tons of illegals. Now, the problem I have is when I go and I'm trying to raise my cow, right? I do have I have some legal immigrants working for me. I have two, right? And then I have some other people working for my leather shop. They're all legal immigrants. They all work, and they get paid similar to Americans, right? And then we get them through citizenship. Yeah, they similar. Yeah, I mean they don't get it's there's pros and cons. Some of these Americans want way too much goddamn money. They're not going to get it. But if you're an unskilled laborer from Guatemala and I help you get your family up here the legal way, and I'm willing to pay you $40 plus a year, and then you get benefits, you're doing pretty fucking good. They're doing great, and so they're and that's fair, especially for what's basically sowing. And so I'll do that anyway. This is not about me. This is about the illegals that are working on these other ranches. These fuckers, what they do is they'll get 50 of these illegals and pay them $2 on the dollar, right? So or 20 cents on the dollar. So you're getting fucked. Just read. They're probably making $2.15 an hour, and they got 50 of them. And then what'll happen is they'll come by our county and they'll check all the ranches and the farms. And, if a Bob down the road, he's got a big ass ranch, a couple thousand acres, he has two illegals, well, that's almost like $100K fine. He might even face a charge. Now, if C&J, even further down the road, which is a corporate one, gets busted for their 50, they'll just pay all the fine and they'll hire these people back because in 2 months they've already made their money back that they paid on the fine. And so, like, it's unfair business practices now because we don't even know what the actual market would cost. Now, people are like, well, wouldn't that hurt you and your beef production? No, because guess what? It's going to raise beef prices. Yeah, it's going to raise beef prices, which will help beef.
That are getting paid little. Are they also being provided a place to live in their room and board? Is that also being provided?
Well, that's a good fucking question. And if you find out that answer, you let me know, and I'm going to call ICE. And we're going to have some issues about that room and board. But what I'm saying is if they do, what they're doing is
amongst white people also.
Well, what they do is they'll put like 20 people in one building.
In most farm states, there's exemptions for farms where they don't have to pay the minimum wage because they're also
that we do have that. We have that in Texas, but that's not what I'm talking about.
So that's all that's going on there.
No, that is not. That's not what's going on. No. Okay, I'll explain the difference.
How is it different?
What you're talking about is if, say, I set up on now. There's actually certain size requirements for this, and we actually tore down 2 houses that we actually were using for these. What you do is you would pay them like $2.15 an hour, but then I would pay for all the utility. Yeah, but you have to give them a certain square footage, so you have to have like a 2-bedroom house basically, or like our apartment. That's not what these people are doing. What they're doing is they're getting like a fucking apartment, and they're putting 20 people in a 1-bedroom, and then they're saying
where I'm from, because I'm from the plains,
or the little like
they usually just get them fucking double wide trailers, and there'll be a whole little community of double wide trailers that's literally just the workers for whatever
something
farm.
like a reservation.
Yeah, so this is not what we're talking about. These aren't the same things because these guys are not even being paid on the table. Like I would be directly paying them $2.15 an hour, and then they would have like then you would see an invoice and it would include why they're not getting paid. They would have like the room and the board and the other shit. These guys they build like a shed.
They're doing it illegally, but I'm saying how is the mechanics of it any different? You're paying somebody that's living on your property and you're feeding and paying their utilities and things like that, and you're paying them
if they're living on their property.
Different. Well, you got to
disproportionate. From what I'm understanding, Ben, that Gibbs is saying that he's the little guy, and when he gets fined, he's going to get fined a massive fine. Right?
I do understand what he's saying with the big corporations can pay the fine off and not care. Right. I get that.
Well, the difference is the reason why I pay them if I could pay them less, like okay, and put the room and board up, is they would still be getting the equivalent to like what would be more than minimum wage, right? Because they're getting the board and their cash. These guys aren't getting more than minimum wage with anything they're being provided. They're like even with room and board, they're getting fucked.
What I'm wondering is should these massive corporations be fined a much higher? Should these massive corporations receive a much higher fine? Should it be proportionate?
Yeah, but hold on a second.
It should be criminal charges, not a fine. They should be charged.
It's illegal.
And more and criminal charges, but also a massive fine, like something
if
that
you guys are talking a flat rate, a lot of the field workers are only being paid for what they actually take out of the field.
Oh, that's a good point too.
So wait a second.
I don't know about the field, the farming. I know specifically about the ranching, but yeah, that's true what he just said.
The jobs Clay is talking about is called entry-level jobs, right?
Sure.
Those for the high schoolers and college kids until they are ready in the workforce. However, all the immigrants have taken over those entry-level jobs.
Actually, what I would say about that spin is that those American young men and women should actually be further in the field than they are. They actually shouldn't even be doing those entry-level jobs at 20 and 22. Like when they're 16, 17, they should have those entry-level jobs. So high school, yes, but then once they're out of high school, they should be either looking for a full-time job.
Okay, but what are you – wait a minute, wait. What are you calling entry-level jobs? Are you saying like a lemonade stand? Clip that shit.
No. No, what I'm talking about is
mop my floors. That's an entry-level job. Just
picking
mop my
watermelon,
floors,
picking
clean my toilets.
You know,
okay, but is that entry-level?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Picking potatoes is entry-level.
Okay, so basically what you're really referring to is like jobs that don't require a license or you know
training.
Yeah.
You know, some sort of formal training.
Things that are primarily what you would consider labor field.
And I wouldn't call McDonald's entry level. Actually, I would call McDonald's like running a cash register, that type shit. That's high school work. That's actually below entry level. Entry level.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Wait a
It used
minute.
to be called entry level, honey.
That used to be called entry level.
Yeah.
When fucking McDonald's workers are making $15 to $20 an hour to turn a fucking half a cent fucking generic fucking fake ass beef patty over.
Yeah.
That's not entry level.
That's not really where your complaint is. That's the problem.
No, my complaint is these illegal invaders that are coming into this country, taking those jobs.
Keep it in line with what you just fucking said. Don't go off fucking tangent. Actually, fucking keep it in line, man.
Yeah, because the growers in the fields who run the fields.
Your problem is not that McDonald's workers are making 15 to flip burgers. That's
okay. Should an illegal alien work on a fucking farm and make $15 to $20 an hour?
Right now, keep it on tap.
On the farm.
I am. Listen to me.
The reason McDonald's workers make $15 an hour instead of $6 or $5 back when I was a fucking kid is because of inflation. Where your true complaint is that the skilled laborers have not kept up with inflation. So that is not the fault.
I was getting to that, Balderson.
That was a mandated pay increase.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I don't actually call the McDonald's job entry level is because when we're talking about illegal immigrants, the ability to get an entry level job, an illegal immigrant, the ability for him to be able to get that job, he can't get a job at McDonald's. Let's be clear. He can't get a job pushing carts. Legally, they will absolutely destroy his ability to do that. So we're not talking about McDonald's and pushing carts. We're talking about picking potatoes.
Okay, picking parts in a warehouse. Okay, Amazon. Let's go to Amazon.
They can't work
for
Amazon.
Amazon, anything that is a government that is oversaw by the government like that, you're not getting that kind. You're not getting illegal
construction and farm.
It's construction and farms.
Yeah,
that's where the illegal immigrants go.
Yeah.
I would actually have to disagree with you, Clay, real quick. I literally got promoted from a job because an illegal immigrant got caught with a fake SSI card, and he worked at ShopRite. This was years ago.
You actually make my point.
You made my point. It's a false equivalency because we're talking about businesses that make a model off of having illegal immigrants and know that they're illegal immigrants, and somebody that tried to do falsification of the fucking system.
Right.
That's not the same
fraud.
at all.
That's actually fraud. That's something even crazier, right? So that's why I disclude any job where you're actually going to have to provide.
Okay,
all of that
then if I were to
information.
come out and work on your farm, okay, and you said, all right, I'll pay you $15 an hour to take care of XYZ 1, 2, 3 task, right?
Get ready to put up fence, Ben.
No, thank you. I'm saying, okay, so let's use that.
And I'm 41.
I'm going to pay you $15 an hour to raise my to erect my fence, right?
You don't need to get sexual about it.
I have.
Hopefully, that's the only erection.
Yeah.
How many here on the panel take Viagra? Put your hands up. Oh, they didn't fall for it. Damn.
So you have to take, you have the point right there. You at the point right there can pay them under the table, or you can say, okay, I own this company, i.e. Bem's Jackoffs or something, and I have to take taxes. I need your social security number, or I need you to fill out this form. You, as the employer, say Toasty, as the employee, can't sign that form. Do you still hire them?
That's an oversimplification.
I am oversimplifying it, aren't I?
They don't even, and you're trying to lay out a very complex situation when the fact
How is it complex?
They know, because the simple thing is they know
Ben,
that
you need the fence.
You need the fence.
Go ahead.
The
Go ahead.
simple answer is they know that they were illegals when they hired them. They didn't even ask them to fucking fill out the fucking form. They paid them fucking. They said, "Hey, Mexican, you can stay in this fucking shed out back, and I'll give you $5 an hour cash under the table to go out here and work." Oh, you got a cousin that wants to come do it with you? Fuck yeah. I'll give you fucking the two of you $10 an hour. Get to
Sí,
fucking
Mr.
work.
Barroso. Sí, señor. Yo necesito mucho trabajo, por favor. Muy rápido.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They don't even
Remember the
care.
movie Fun with Dick and Jane when
And
Dick
And
is
a
out
holla
there
buck to
waiting?
you, sir.
Yeah, Dick is out there. Dick is out there waiting for the truck to come by, and Fun with Dick and Jane, and he's hopping on the back of the truck, and then he gets
Okay,
knocked off.
but isn't
$10
that
sounds pretty good.
Ben,
I'm just get $5 a case of beer, you know?
Ben, could you correlate that to somebody that doesn't want to fill out that 1099 or the W-9 or whatever the fuck it is, to the point of an illegal not wanting to fill that form out, but you need the fence built?
Sounds like you ain't gonna get that fence built
this is
legally.
Part of why that the illegal immigrant workforce is almost exclusively construction workers, which is usually small companies, privately owned, and fucking farmers. Again, like Gibbs just said, 97% privately owned. And so these are all paying them under the table and giving them a place to live. And when your bills are paid and you're getting $5 an hour, so you can send all $5 home, or you can keep $1 an hour and send $4 an hour home. And you and your fucking 4 cousins that are all working save for fucking 3 months and then get a hoopty with the fucking lowered fucking rims or you know.
This is similar to child labor laws, right? Except for that the children actually have even more protections, right? Which is good. That's a good thing, right? But this is very similar to the labor. It's labor laws, really, right?
Well,
So
I
this
mean,
all falls under
related
well,
to you.
Well, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but it's really modern day slavery that you underpay them. They basically have this class that's like not able to vote, whatever. And I don't know if it's a total coincidence, but it is the same party that was back in the 1850s, the 1860s saying, "Dear Lord, you can't take away our slaves because price is going to go up. Dear Lord, and what are they going to do?" And now they're saying, "You can't take away our illegals. Price is going to go up." Crazy, crazy
exclusively owned by Republicans.
Where's my 5 acres and an ass and some seeds?
Not big. The ranching, yeah, but the farming, it depends on the crop. Like, because a lot of the crops are not corporate owned. Is the problem.
Okay,
Well,
so going back to the prompt,
your private owned farm,
Yeah, the private owned ones are going to be overwhelmingly Republican.
are almost exclusively Republican. Your
Okay.
construction
but
companies
if we went,
almost exclusively Republican.
Well, the owners might be.
Hold
They're
on,
saving
hold
money.
on. Go ahead, Santa. Go ahead, Santa.
if we go back to building our infrastructure, we can step aside both of those arguments, because those are
That's
people
what
that are
I'm
going to have to show
saying.
bona fides. And a lot of people come in on valid work visas under seasonal permits.
66,000.
It's a real big thing to say that all these people are doing that. There are a lot of people.
66,000. That's how many HB2s are available. 66,000. How many
I'd say we need
undocumented
more.
workers? Over
Millions.
We need more.
Millions.
couple million.
And then don't get caught. I mean,
Yeah, don't get caught.
I mean,
yeah.
look, we all recognize that there's going to be a certain just skirting of the system. But when you're talking about literally over 1 million, considering the actual availability, 66,000 compared to 1 million to 2 million any given season, right?
then
That's
allow
a
them to come forward.
massive. Yeah.
Then allow them to come forward.
Okay.
I mean, or we can pay to, a lot of people want to deport. Okay, I really don't have a fight either way on that. But having worked with so many people that were honest, good working people, looking for that opportunity to follow the American dream or to take part of it in some way, I'm like, hey, if they're driven to do that, they're willing to jump through the hoops. That I would argue a lot of generations now of natural born Americans might not be. Reward the workers, and not some kind of Marxist crap, but just allow the people who want to contribute. And for example, a lot of the people that served in the military were getting out of jail time. Sometimes being in the right system and having an opportunity to excel works. What's that?
I mean, that program ended a long time ago.
I wouldn't argue that, but
I would say this.
For armed robbery, you're obviously not going to do that.
Scarcity.
No, they actually reversed the script on that, where even simple arrests are actually that you have to remember that was back in the fucking mid 90s when the Clinton military turned into the smart military, and not only did they quit taking criminals, they also said you've got to now have, it was a 25 on your ASVAB, and they bumped it up to a 32, which is still fucking dismal, but apparently it means you can chew bubble gum and walk at the same time or something.
Well, let's not talk about the Marines.
Yeah. Like it's all bad, but they boosted it up, and they had severe military cuts back in fucking the mid 90s. I think we had like 900,000 in total military. That's including
when Clinton came in, and he if you wanted to go, that's actually how I got early. I was due to advance in rank. He says, "You want to go 3 months earlier?" I'm like, "Later."
Oh, dude, I got my fucking final exit like a month before my unit went to Libya for a year. I was like, missed that one.
Yes. Well, on that though, I mean, imagine if somebody says, I want to sign up for this program. In order for me to stay in this job program where I'm going to be mentored, I'm going to be trained, I'm going to have these skills, I also have to keep my nose clean in every other way. I recognize some people feel like, no, you came here illegally, just fuck off. Okay, I'm not going to convince you. But there are a lot of good people that are here whose circumstances were different. They may not have even decided to be the one who came here. I mean, there are a lot of exceptions. This is super complex.
Don't start with anchor babies. You'll get Spin going.
Hey, I don't care. Spin can get off his ass and start building some bridges. Right? I think we have a deed from
get off his ass. He can only roll
Build that bridge, Spin. What are you waiting for?
Santa, you're going to have to make that job site ADA compliant for Spin there now, okay?
I know. And that for me too. And I'll be out there with my placard.
If we put some heavy duty bearings in his fucking wheelchair, he could probably carry more weight than any of the rest of us.
We can put a winch on that bad boy.
God,
but
guys are
all that. Okay, well, we'll have to make sure some people aren't guiding the cranes.
I got to click better company.
Oh fuck.
No, but we definitely need to make sure the work gets done, and these things are so complex. I don't like it when the politicians tell me, oh, he was such a good boy, he was mastering in human arts, and he made a quilt every night for his grandmom. And then the other side of it is, he was this in Air Force Academy. All these anecdotal stories to prove a narrative leave us failed. I mean, the system fails us. We have the infrastructure. It's a real thing. It's easy to measure. It's easy to see whether or not people are showing up. If they show up and they don't have their credentials, wouldn't it be better than spending the money to deport them with clean records, by the way? I mean, if they've got papers or they've been in jail, see ya. But if they're every other way and they're willing to say, hey, let me be part of this Job Corps, why wouldn't we?
Well, here's my opinion on kind of what you're talking about there, brother man. So scarcity. Because you
guys see what I saw there when he popped in? I see his name right before you guys do. Fucking the new guy here. I was like, easy. I leaned for what the fuck?
Oh.
What's up, my arch nemesis?
Not that one.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, it's the other one.
You running your mouth easy. You down there running your mouth in the chat. You might as well come up here and run your mouth.
I'm hype up the Knicks winning the championship, so I'm not looking to argue, but I do have a question though.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to hold on, Spin, because I just want to make this one point, and then I'll pass it off. Scarcity. One of the things that I do notice is that with Americans, because we are wealthy, because we are the haves. When these immigrants come here, they're coming here and taking our jobs because essentially these young people don't want to work. But that's because there's no scarcity, right? Everything's available to them, right? So if it's available to them, mom and dad paid for it. I want a $15 an hour job. That's what I see.
Yeah, daddy government's going to take care of them when mommy and daddy did.
100%.
If I was born south of the border, I would have been Michael Phelps swimming across the river.
I didn't get that safety net. I had to get my ass out there at 22, and I started a company, and it lasted for well over 15 years. So I don't know what their excuses is. Get your ass out there, kids, and work.
Yeah,
seriously,
Hold on. What's up, Easy?
What up?
What you got for me, Easy? What you got?
I got two questions really. I mean, one of them is, the general sentiment is that illegal immigrants cause a drain. Correct? That's what you guys think.
No, none of us really have been discussing that. We've more been discussing whether it's something that we really need in order to rebuild the infrastructure, and we haven't even went over how giant that task is going to be.
Perfect. Okay, so what do you guys? So, there's a common misconception that illegal immigrants don't pay taxes. So, what do you have to say about the fact that over half of them have ITINs and pay taxes, and then the ones that are committing the fraud, which I'm not saying is a good thing. Committing fraud is definitely not good, but they're stealing identities so that they can pay taxes to the U.S. government. And the ones that have ITINs get nothing out of it. They don't get Social Security. If they make too much money, they don't get benefits.
They can't vote.
And
they can't vote. So what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Nor should they. They're not a citizen. Why should they
Yeah,
get those
they're
things?
living in the shadows.
Yeah,
those things are for me. Those things are for me.
He wasn't making
50% isn't even a concrete fucking number to begin with.
He wasn't making the case that they should get those rights. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that a guy that gets nothing from the system but pays into it is definitely a net positive.
Well, let me take a crack at this. One, there's two ways states can handle this, right? One, you can do what Texas did, and we have sales tax. So, yeah, anywhere they spend money, they're going to pay the sales tax, and we do get taxes from them. And two, I guess, yeah, you're right. They're going to be paying in the income tax, or theoretically. That's if they actually go and file taxes. A lot of times they end up at work and then they don't file. Or if the company
50% file. Over 50%.
Sure. Hold on, hear me out, though. But that's not where they're going to hurt you. And this is where they do hurt us, right? Is if we look at places like Laurel Ridge here in San Antonio that had to shut down because they had so many people coming and just going in there, and they were illegal immigrants specifically. They would go in there, they would get treatment, and then just walk out, and then they couldn't find these people because they gave them fake information. They literally had to shut down, and now over a center in a low, like an income side of town is gone. And now the people that were using that center and using Medicaid and all these other things, they can't use that center now anymore. And we can look at this, and we're seeing this across the nation where the healthcare system is being overwhelmed by people doing insurance fraud. And that's specifically tied not to legal migrants doing fraud like what we see with the Somalians and other groups, but to illegal immigrants doing the fraud because they can put their name down and then leave. And this is crushing the healthcare cost. And I know that the healthcare industry has a lot of problems, but whenever you have this exacerbating it, it's not going to incentivize prices to go lower. It's just going to cost treatment centers for people that need. And that's one of the ways. And there's other ways that are concerning like Americans and like the right away. If you can look at crime, if we look at the damage from crime, that starts to add up. And I'm not talking just about like murder or violent crime, but there's other sorts of that, like damaging my ranch, right? If they came across, it cost me $12,000 to repair the fence and all the different areas that were destroyed. Now, I'm a rancher. We're already barely breaking even with beef price being that. I can't afford to do that 5 times a year. Right? So, like, there are other downstream costs that people don't factor in. And that would be how I would say it's a net negative.
Well, and that's not even talking about the tactical risk. There were definitely reports of people, military age or whatever, and they weren't from the Americas. There are people that had different motives whatsoever, or whatever they were, and they don't necessarily have our best interest at heart. I mean, how many people does it take to create instability? Less than 10%. And if you're doing it in local areas, well, we have these autonomous zones already. This could be just the tipping point. So if we have these infrastructure things, it's a way to solve one problem and look for other people at the same time.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are so afraid. I mean, illegal immigrants commit crimes at like a 1% rate or something like that. It's like drastically lower than whatever the level of crimes by citizens are committed. And as far as healthcare is concerned, that's a completely different topic. Why do you blame people? Why do you blame people that are taking advantage of the healthcare system instead of blaming the insurance companies?
Because they're illegally breaking the law and taking advantage of the insurance companies.
And the insurance companies are mostly American. So
he was making it out like that's primarily insurance fraud, and it's absolutely not primarily insurance fraud. What it primarily is in emergency rooms, they can't turn you away if you're dying. And so they go to an emergency room and they are definitely going to receive treatment. And then where do you bill this person? So that's where the actual problem lies. And that's a legitimate problem. But I'm with Clay on this, that if we're going to come down on somebody, we need to come down on the businesses that are making this possible, because if they didn't have jobs and a hope for a better future, they wouldn't come here. They wouldn't come here just to hang out and do nothing. They actually, illegal immigrants mostly work.
Yeah, just to kind of expound on that. Just to kind of expound on that too. It's like I was saying with the child labor laws, right? So with the illegal immigrants, I know you brought up ITINs, which, you know, that's one thing, but, you know, I don't really care how much money they pay to the government. Essentially, I'm looking at it from whether they're actually legally working or not, because what they're doing is actually, like I was mentioning, these jobs that are getting done because I can pay someone less are getting done because I can pay someone less. So if I can just pay a 10-year-old to do the job, why don't I just, you know, morally, like, it's not a problem at this point. Legally, yeah, I'm going to run into an issue. Like, I'm looking at it from the perspective of the property owner, which the property owner is the American people, right? So the legal aspect of it has to come in. If I can hire an illegal immigrant, the morality of that is that I'm hiring him at a lower rate because I can, right? Just because I can. So why don't I just hire a 10-year-old?
So I would think that I'm not 100% sure, but I would think that the labor laws apply to immigrants as well.
Yeah, that's
so then that would mean that the business owner is breaking the law, and they should be the one that's punished for breaking the law.
And you're absolutely right, though. Easy though, what he was saying, how they do this. Like I worked at I'm not gonna say which business because they'll rat them out. But they basically, when I was in college, I was working in, and all these guys had real papers. They were like, "Oh, I got this from somebody that died overseas," and they were real papers. And so that's how they pay taxes, because it would just be taken out of their paycheck, right? And then they would never actually file for a return, right? So they would be like, "Okay, we're fine," so they'd get paid. And then, like, you know, if anybody ever came looking, that information pulls up somebody in a whole different state, right, than where they're at, like, except for their like W-2 or whatever. And like, so yeah, I mean, they're pretty smart about it, and it's not like they're giving the full amount of taxes. I mean, and I'm not so much worried about them. It's just like to say there's no downhill like repercussions is kind of like naive. I think.
Slippery slope.
Nobody said that. He said that these people, he was real specific about it, and you guys keep wandering afield. He specifically said these people that are paying the income tax have went to the government and said, "Hey, I'm working," and the government was like, "Yeah, we're fine with that. Just pay your taxes." And fucking that's what that is a tax ID.
Yeah, but to be fair though, they also, the IRS expects you to pay taxes.
All your horses.
He's addressing that.
That these people that pay the taxes but don't receive the benefits of being a citizen, these people are definitely hold on. Net positive.
But the IRS though has already set the precedent that they don't care if you're doing illegal activity like that, because like look at how Al Capone got caught, right? If he had just claimed his like his money on the drug money or whatever he was selling, I mean I don't know, not drug money, whatever he was doing, all the other shit he was doing. Like if he had just claimed his ill-gotten gains on his taxes, he probably would have got arrested for something else eventually. But the IRS wouldn't have been the ones that got him, right? Because they don't give a shit. So same thing with this. I don't know that actually like proves like that the government's okay with them doing it, though. I think
You're talking about two different things, though, bro.
Tell me this. Tell me this.
Yeah,
When-
I think
what happened when the big companies that do hire these workers like that went to Trump when he was like mass deportations? Those big companies went to him. What was his response? You remember, or did that slip your mind?
I remember.
You're muted.
I'm still bitching about it, like because I wanted the illegals gone because I want
almost like the government says, if you pay the taxes, go ahead and stay.
Well, no, I think this was more of a case, and I actually don't have a problem with this because I like money in politics, but it was also like, hey, these are your lobbyists.
I'm not going to come get your guys.
Isn't that Easy's argument? Isn't that Easy's argument, Ben?
It is.
So this is kind of why I said you're missing my point. Right? Because, okay, if I pay my taxes, I'm the business, right? I have to pay my taxes. So why don't I just hire a 10-year-old?
I agree.
But that's on you. That's on you.
You can't hire a 10-year-old like in like a Wingstop or like a Burger King. I can put
no, we're talking,
like a dude that has like fake paperwork.
Remember, we're not talking about those jobs. We're talking about farming and in construction. We're talking about the things that illegal immigrants can take, right? So if it's not immoral to hire someone on because, you know what, I just pay my taxes, who's an illegal immigrant, then why can't I just hire a 10-year-old?
Because of labor laws.
Labor
laws.
No,
the law doesn't matter, remember? The law doesn't matter.
The law does matter. These people are legal. That's what you're missing.
Hey, hold on. Can I ask you a question?
I won't come get your immigrants if they're working. If you start putting a bunch of 10-year-olds out to task, they are definitely coming to get you, which was my statement that the government doesn't care. They've proved it.
ITINs are legal, though. We're not talking about illegal stealing.
So is hiring illegal immigrants.
And the government doesn't care. Trump flat said, oh, well, never mind. I'll stop these mass deportations as long as they're working for you guys.
There's an immorality for hiring someone on at a lower wage because they're not legally allowed to work in that profession.
There's no legal wage. That's not right. That's incorrect.
No, that is 100% right. No, hold on. Because you're really not getting the point. I can hire the illegal immigrant on for $2 an hour. I can hire the child on for $2 an hour. He is not getting paid a fair wage, sir.
Right.
Yeah, but I think
there are labor laws for that, and that's on the business owner. That's not on the immigrant.
And there's labor laws for the illegal immigrant because we don't do slavery here in the fucking United States.
But hold on,
and that's the point of
hold on. Y'all are missing the point. I got it. I understand, Clay. This is where you're missing the point. Right? You're so close, both of y'all. Right? Here's what's happening. This is why I said this earlier. They have papers, right? They go in there and they say, "I'm John Smith" or Sally, homemaker or whatever, and they give the papers, and the business can use those papers and pretend that they're paying them a fair wage or doing whatever, right? While they pay them on the table. Now, if somebody comes and checks, they're going to pass a first glance. You know what's not going to pass first glance? If I walk into the fields and I see 15 10-year-olds, that won't pass. But if I have like all these other guys that are of age, they have papers that look real, then that will pass.
Right. So on paper,
that's
you
not
look
real.
good,
That's
but
not right either. ITINs are legal.
And this is the interesting thing. To Easy,
it's not
these are just slaves.
But it would be fake
on a piece of paper. The piece of paper is all that matters to you, Easy, not the person. This is my
point. I would say you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that too. That's not. No, that's not what I'm saying.
If Aaron drove by a field and saw a bunch of white kids out there picking fucking potatoes, she's calling fucking everybody she's ever known to complain about it.
Correct.
Well, hold on. Unless they're Irish.
Right.
If
she sees a bunch of Mexicans out in a field, she thinks that's proper.
She thinks that's proper, and it's not, because they're not getting a fair wage. And you want that, Easy. You're okay with it. Admit it. You're okay with the slavery thing. It's your party, right?
He wasn't
no, I'm actually not. I'm actually not a Democrat, but
positive.
Besides that, it has nothing to do with what you're saying, though. You're like taking one item that I'm saying, and then you're like making it into something that it's not. It's not. So the people that are working are of legal working age, and they meet all the criteria to be working legally, and the ITINs are legal, not illegal.
The ITINs are not illegal. They're not legal.
ITINs are. It's legal to have an ITIN. Yes, the government gives it to you.
Illegal immigrant working here in the United States has an I-10 that's legal?
Just Google it. Just Google it.
They're not legal.
Just Google it.
You can't
They
have
are set
one.
up for
How do you get
they
one?
are set up
How do you
for
get one?
illegal immigrants.
How do you get one?
You have no
How do you
idea
get
what
one?
you're talking about.
How do you get
You have to
one? How do you
apply
get
for
one?
it. You
Oh,
apply
you got to
for it.
apply for it? And what do they
Yeah.
check? What do they check?
Yep. They check everything.
Yeah, including immigration status? Are you
No,
a legal resident?
it's set
Oh,
up
no?
for illegal. It's set up for illegal immigrants.
I'll tell you what. I'll do a
You
quick
could simply
Google
just
search.
Google it right now. Just
Yeah,
Google
I'm
it right
gonna do
now.
it. I'm going to do it.
Who
Don't
are
worry about it.
I-10s? Who are I-10s for? That's what you should do. It's Google. Who are I-10s set up for? I lost your volume.
Yeah, I know. I'm muted, so that I could
Oh,
actually
sorry
ask
about
the
that.
question.
Yeah. You could also look up his I-10 illegal tax status because it is. And when you're done Googling it, you could say, oh shit, I didn't know that. My bad.
Oh, look at this. No, an ITIN does not grant legal work authorization in the United States. Employment eligibility. Employers are required by law to verify work authorization using Form I-9, which requires an SSN or a valid work permit, EAD, not an ITIN. So go fucking suck a dick. I don't give a shit, bro. Like, you are so misinformed. You're a retard, bro.
And if anything, it was these people that created the I-10 to begin with. Like, they wanted the system to have illegals in this country to begin with. We didn't want them here. They did. And that was for destroying America, plain and simple.
Well,
so they can get the fuck
when you say they,
All
you mean
these
the government.
That's correct. We did not establish our system for immigrants at all.
That's right.
And easy, Mr. Krautmik would like a speed date with you on this very topic.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and grant that request.
He's got to argue for it. He's got to earn the right.
He's got to earn that right.
I try not to argue with people on here, man. I don't want to seem too aggressive. All right, so I'm just going to state two facts, and you can easily look this up. Then I'll pose you two questions. It is a fact that most immigrants conform to American ideology. It is a fact most illegal immigrants do not. I don't want to argue that point. You can look it up after this little speed run. Now, do you think illegal immigrants can read English?
Some can, some can't.
Okay, well that's an issue right there. Take what was it last year, where the dude, he got a license over in Cali, go figure, and he fucking killed like 3 families from making an illegal fucking U-turn on the highway, and a van ran right into his fucking truck. That's point one. Point two, are you okay with any culture coming into America?
Yeah, I don't care what your culture is, and I'd have to say that the
okay, hold on, no, before you go on a tangent.
No, I'm not going to address your other question. You asked me another question too.
No, you already answered it. You just said you're okay with any culture coming into America, so I'm going to address that flaw.
Yeah.
There's a tribe over in Papua New Guinea where motherfuckers be coming into kids' mouths as a tribal rite of passage. You're okay with those fucking sick bastards coming into America?
If they're willing to assimilate and follow American laws, sure.
But that brings me to the fact that I made. Most immigrants conform to American ideologies. Most illegal immigrants do not. Boom. Spin. I'm done.
Well, then
you
they'll
just
go to
got
jail,
wrecked,
right?
son. You
Then
just
they'll
got
go to
wrecked,
jail,
bro.
right?
Spin. You can take me off. I'm good. I just fucking destroyed him. Boom. Argument over.
So destroyed.
Argument over. Argument over. You ain't got nothing to say to that. And you just proved my point that if they conform to American ideologies, and it's a fact, immigrants conform to American ideologies and illegals do not. You just got wrecked, son. What? That's how you destroy that argument, bro. That's how you destroy that argument, Clark.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the man is completely misinformed, or he's a misinformation machine, because hiring restrictions, it is illegal for a traditional employer to hire someone using an ITIN for standard W-2 employment. This is just not a thing, right? there are massive restrictions.
And explain why it exists. Explain why it exists, Clay.
It's for
no matter what, no matter what
so they can report their own income.
And I agree. It's
because these
illegal.
asswipes
I
wanted to
agree.
give these people a pathway to fucking
trouble.
citizenship, and it starts with them
I
being able to
agree.
make some fucking
Companies
money.
get in
Jesus
trouble.
Christ, man.
And
Don't
that
do
this shit's illegal. I completely agree. Now, let's go to the government. Does the government give a shit? Trump flat said in front of national fucking TV, I am not going to deport these workers because the companies came to him and said it's a problem. So when I state that does the government give a shit? They don't. They prove it.
No, they don't. Right. So here's why. Because providing an ITIN to an employer as if it were an SSN or using a fabricated SSN to get a standard job is illegal and can negatively impact the future of the immigration process. What you're actually doing is you're actually using someone else's information. Like you're not even using real information. You know what I'm saying? The SSN, the social security number, that little number that they gave you with, not everybody has one, by the way. And you don't actually have to have one, right? But in order to work and have a opt into this system, you actually have to have these things. These things are like, I know it came back when FDR, which was massive Democrat policies, democratic, whatever you want to call it. These socialist policies. Now we have it. Okay, we as Americans have to do these things. So now illegal immigrants are coming in saying, we don't want to do these massive social policies that originally the Democrats wanted all Americans to do. But they don't need the illegal immigrants to do. Why is that? Why is that? There's got to be a reason.
Those guys, his argument was, once again, you guys are completely, you and Kraut arguing against an argument that he didn't fucking make. You guys need to listen closer.
It's the ITIN.
Is that yes? So they are paying into those systems without receiving benefits from said systems.
Yes,
so
his
only claim was, does that make them a net positive since they don't get the benefits, but they pay in?
And I would say no. It's fraud, sir. It's cheating.
But does that mean it's not a net positive? It's
no,
illegal.
it's not a net positive. No,
agree.
it's not. No, it's not a net positive. No.
What percentage of legal immigrants commit crimes?
Well, that's another interesting debate, really, because it used to be we thought we knew the statistics. However, Texas has put out a recent study. There's been 2 of them done here, but now we're saying that these numbers might be off. I'll find the studies real quick and I'll post them here. But they're saying a lot of these times these people were being charged under the fake names, or we weren't recording them if they're already in prison, and all sorts of stuff before. There's crazy stuff. We're finding out the stats might have been wrong the whole time. Just like when they said mass shootings were a white boys game, and it turns out they were not including gang violence in there, which if you include gang violence, suddenly that changes who's the mass shootings dramatically like by large numbers. But hey, it's all about it's there's 3 kinds of liars. There's good liars, there's bad liars, and then there's statistics. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Gibbs.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, just let me add on to Gibbs' point real quick. There's some states out there, Democratic, that are actually changing laws to where, for example, if you get caught doing a crime with a weapon, like if you beat somebody up with a fucking bat, normally that's assault with a deadly weapon. However, there are some states, Democratic states, that are changing the law where if the cops show up and you drop that fucking bat, you no longer get charged with assault of a deadly weapon. So their crime statistics are fucking lowered based on that factor because they're changing the very laws. But to add to what Gibbs just said, yeah.
Is there any proof to that? I mean, that sounds
You can
wild.
look it up online, bro. You can look it up online. You can look it up online.
So you hit somebody with a bat, and then you drop the bat before the cops come. So if you shoot somebody with a gun, and then you drop the gun, did you no longer murder them?
That might be a
study
bad
is in this night chat.
That might be a bad example.
There's been follow-up studies,
That's
by the
my
way, as well.
fault. That is my fault. But they are literally they are changing how crimes are rated to lower the crime rate itself. and you can look that online. Again, that's my fault.
They do it for convictions. They do it for convictions. They let them plead down to a
no,
lesser
they
charge
do it
so
to
they
make
get
their
convictions.
states look safer. That's why they fucking do it. Like, do you got people in the fucking comments talking about red states are the poorest states out there? No, because of the blue fucking cities. The blue cities are what make the red states fucking poor.
Yeah,
So
red governors with blue Democrat with blue mayors don't work out.
I looked it up. It says dropping a weapon does not automatically end an aggravated assault charge. Once the initial threat or attempt has been made with a deadly weapon, the crime is legally complete.
Yeah. Again, Balder, that's my fault, and you're like a moderator here, so I really don't want to argue that. I'll try to give a better one real quick. I think something like if you're caught with a deadly weapon and then you drop it before you get arrested, like those they're changing laws where those your crime will no longer indicate that you had a weapon because you surrendered it before you got arrested.
Well, I've got to say that probably it's not to bring down the statistics. More likely is that they're so overridden with crime they've had to change the level. And this exists in every major city where they don't have room in their jails. They'll go to take people to jail and they just got to fucking boot them right out. There's guys they call them boats. They call them boats. They sleep out in the day halls and shit in boats because the jails are overpacked. And so what are your options at that point when you can't fit any more people? You start moving the levels of the crimes that will put you in that situation up. So that way you obviously, we don't have room for the guys that are actually assaulting people. So we're going to kick all the fucking drunkies and all the potheads out of this jail. And now all of a sudden, yeah. So I would say it's more of that problem to solve that problem than I would it's to solve the statistics problem.
All right. Well, I think For the Win had a question, but I'll just say this: that's a bad argument on my part. I admit I'm wrong. I'm going to do more research after this thing, and come better to prepare next time. See, that's what accountability looks like, you fucking liberals.
I looked it up because it wouldn't have shocked me. I live in California. That is not the worst fucking law that I would have heard pass. So I had to look it up,
Damn, you live in Cali, bro? You got to deal with fucking scumbag Newsom? Brother.
Well, I'm in far.
Come on.
People don't realize how giant Cali is. I'm in far northern Cali. So while Newsom is the governor.
Is that like the boonies?
Might as well be
Oregon. It's the boonies.
Is that the boonies? Like the sticks?
It takes me 2 hours to get to the grocery store. So ain't nobody coming out here and bothering me. Yeah.
I'll be having to buy the deep freezer, be shopping for once a year, bro, for real.
Oh, they know it.
They had a question.
I shop
this out there since we were doing statistics a little bit. 356 to 303. That's the undocumented immigrants who commit crimes versus the legal immigrants. So for every 356, well, it's actually technically, so it's every 100,000 people, 356 is the amount of undocumented immigrants who commit crimes versus the legal immigrants, which are 303, right? So it's actually higher than the legal immigrants. So I don't know why that point was
what's the date on that?
It's from the Cato Institute. I don't know. I could probably pull up the. It was a study 2010 to 2024.
Can I have a speed date with Easy, please?
2024 was the last.
How you doing? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So if you break into my house illegally and then you just sit on my floor and you don't do anything, are you still committing a crime?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then why would you sit there and say that it's okay for them to just do the same concept even though they're not committing any crime?
I mean, you can't really correlate a country to a house.
Yes, you can. That's exactly how our laws were built. It's an expansion of your enterprise.
I think I lost you.
That's how they started it, and then they started with the homestead, and then they built it up to be more inclusive to the country. That's why it is your country.
I have to say that that based on experience and actions, that the American government disagrees with you. So I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know if you would be like the greatest source of information for what is intended for the country's laws as far as that's concerned, or not what the laws are, but what the actual practice is. And you know, I don't really care. I didn't say I agree with illegal immigration. I said I really don't care about it. And there are net positives that are had, and I think the crime rates are pretty low. I got to check those statistics that the other guy.
If you illegally break into my house, and you do a whole bunch of housework for me,
it's a dumb correlation. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I really tried not to interrupt you. There is 100% a correlation. So if you break into my house illegally and then you do a bunch of fucking work for me, does that mean I should let you stay in my house and continue doing the work for me?
I mean, that's up to you, right? That's up to you what you want to do, right?
That's called slavery, dude.
It's called slavery if somebody chooses to come into your house and work for you.
I'm exploiting you by letting you stay in my house and do all my shit for me and not paying you for it.
I mean, wouldn't there have to be some type of power dynamic there? Wouldn't there have to be some type of?
No, there wouldn't. No, there would not.
Yeah, I don't think this makes any sense. So it's like hard to respond to what you're saying because it doesn't make it's not really making sense.
I know it doesn't make sense to you guys because you guys don't understand the fucking concept of slavery.
I mean, I'm against slavery if that's what you're trying to.
You're sitting there saying you're for it, dude.
I don't think somebody coming into your house and doing work for you is slavery. I think you'd have to like solicit it. Like I think you'd have to like actually be a participant.
If you illegally come into my house and you start fixing shit around my fucking house, that's not okay. That's against the law.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing how all you political guys have to misrepresent everything a dude says so you can make your fucking.
It's not a misrepresentation.
Where did I misrepresent him,
for you though?
Wild.
I did put the study in the
dude. You guys have pointed the dude out.
I didn't even fucking misrepresent him, dude.
Or something.
Can I possibly?
When the dude hasn't made any of the points you guys keep fighting, it's fucking wild.
He did.
I did too, actually, Ben. So I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah. So
no, this guy down here, you guys, it's easy. You guys are all fighting. He didn't ever make half the points you guys are fighting. Like you guys are some retards.
So like, asked about the I-10, Ben, and what the fuck did I say? Ben?
I mean, this is just the way the conversation goes. I mean, I don't understand why it's a problem to talk about these other fucking issues. And ask him about it.
They keep pretending like this dude said that.
Why is it a fucking problem?
Like literally that guy. Literally that fucking guy started out with saying,
talking about
yeah, that's a crime. I don't agree with it.
Are we talking about immigration? Are we talking about these issues about immigration?
That doesn't mean you have to fucking misrepresent what the dude said in order to make a fucking argument.
So are we allowed to ask him questions? Are we allowed to ask him questions?
Yes.
I mean, it just seems like we're asking him questions.
Is that misrepresenting what he said?
Oh, no, it's not misrepresenting anything.
I got you. So it's a leading question to have a conclusion wrong? All of a sudden now asking a question is just absolutely wrong. Don't ask any more questions, guys.
Toasty wasn't asking questions.
Don't ask any more questions, guys, because it's going to offend.
Just because you're a dumb bitch, you can't understand what's said, and you have to make straw mans to fight them because you're fucking
the study shows that it's not actually.
Yeah, Sarah, I think you and I should start cussing at each other again. That was more entertaining.
356. It's actually a much higher number for 2024, by the way. The number is actually
and actually you were full of shit on that whole
674.
I looked up the fucking stats myself, and you're full of shit on that whole deal too. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not even calling them out on that because it's funny. Like I like to let people who don't know win. Like I like to let them think they won. It's pretty funny.
I want to go on record. I did post my study that nobody has checked. Maybe I'll do that again. They go into some interesting things talking about how the methods for determining who is illegal and whatnot is. And I think that's important because now they're doing follow-up studies based off this study because Cato and some others have like taken umbrance with theirs. But they're like, well, this was just a test case to see if we could go bigger and see what it's going to look like. So yeah, check that study out because the numbers are quite a bit different when you factor in the data parameters that they include. And
Gibbs, I actually agree with what you're saying. I think it's a very high possibility that the stats on mass shootings are jigged. I'm like,
oh, this has to do with the immigration thing, not the mass. No. Okay, well that's true too. But like,
it can't just be whites, bro.
Right. They're saying okay. Let me just. I agree with the easy, but I was talking about the. Well, I don't know what just happened there. Was in the article I posted has nothing to do with the shootings, but I think I was saying it's like allegorious, right? Because they basically are saying that if you include gang violence and shooting, they're not saying this. I'm saying this. I'm going to make the like comparison. If you compared gang violence and included that in mass shootings, that would change the numbers. They're saying in this study, if you include this data parameter, I don't remember which one is those off the top of my head, then it's going to be like, people that commit crimes are way higher, disproportionate of immigrants than previously thought. I don't know if it's saying max, but it's saying that we might need to relook at how these things are. And I'm willing to look at these things. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know. That Cato incident study that he posted doesn't say what he thinks it says.
Yeah, I don't even know what that Cato Institute study is. I mean, if you could just simply Google it and it comes up as a very, very low percentage. So maybe my stats are wrong, but it's funny to watch the
that's what I'm saying. All your stats are right, like because like except for like this new study, which is saying maybe we need to look at it. But like the long held belief is that immigrants commit less crime, right? Like that based off most data sets that you've like. I'm saying you're absolutely correct.
But I'm not a debater though. So like I don't mind letting people win, even if they sound ridiculous. I just don't mind. I don't mind letting them win.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
This study gives,
he's got the right idea.
This study doesn't give stats, it gives conjectures. It says shit like fucking due to delays in identification, the number of illegal immigrants arrested or incarcerated in Texas is undercounted at any given time. Recently convicted illegal immigrants are most likely to be undercounted. Like there's no stats. They're just like making fucking sweeping fucking, which they're probably right. I mean, I'm not even arguing that it has some veracity, but in order for you to change the statistics, you would have to give some kind of statistic that's counter to that. You can't just say that the system, which every system has flaws, that the system has some flaws. You're muted, Gibbs.
Gibbs, you're muted.
Gibbs, you fucking really turn on your
I'm sorry. I pushed one button here. I was looking at this other thing. Are you talking about this one? Because I mean, they have stats. I mean, like I said, it just needs to be expanded. I think.
I clicked the thing you posted and back.
Yeah, if you click it, they have the full. If you go to table 1, it goes into more detail, like and then it explains what all these are. Like, I mean, they have all these stats, but like I said, I think it's an interesting conversation to be had because we could frame statistics in general however we want, right? Like I'll pick another one that I know is like kind of an unfair one, right? If I was going to do like crimes committed by race against other race, well, white crime against like African Americans would be like significantly lower, but it's like then you get into what about hate crime by race? Well, then it's going to be significantly higher than almost any other race. Like, I mean, it's all about how we like pick what the criteria is. Like, I don't know. Like, my major point here with this was that I'm not sold when people like use this as an argument. Oh, it's not committed. They commit less crime per capita. Like my argument would be, well, if you're here illegally and you commit one crime, that's one crime too many, right? Like that's kind of the issue, right? Like in my opinion, as opposed to like, they may be here committing less crime. It's like, well, they already started with a crime, and now we're moving to other ones that like have downhill problems. Is kind of my issue.
Well, really, actually, it's the opposite, and most of us fucking know that when you're likely to get put in jail and sit there for a while, you tend to not commit other crimes that other people casually commit. This is part of why you see stoners. And cops will even say this: if that motherfucker is driving under the speed limit and freaking astutely following all the laws, that's because he's got drugs on him.
Sure. I mean,
and the same applies to illegal immigrants, because guess what? If they get arrested, they have to go in. Then they sit in the jail for 6 months while they figure out who they are, process their charges, and at the end of serving their term, they get immediately put on a bus and shipped back home. Yeah, so that sucks for them. They don't want to get arrested for fucking doing 60 and a 55. They don't want to fucking get busted for doing some stupid shit. And so it makes sense they have a lower general crime rate.
I'm not worried about that, right? Like, I mean, that's true. And like I would say in most public examples, you don't want to get busted for doing like something stupid like running a stop sign. I agree. But if you look at conviction rates for like illegals, normal people, all like citizens, if you get convicted of a crime once, the likelihood you reoffend goes dramatically up, right? And so this also the theory would hold that if you're willing to break a law to get into the country, you're willing to break other laws that stay here and do other things, all right? And this is going to continue down the line, and there's going to be consequences for that. Like when you start on one law break, it's going to continue down the line, whether or not it's like I murdered somebody.
That is as fucking retarded as the.
I mean, the data backs that up, though.
The data doesn't fucking follow. And the data doesn't track at all. It says that actually they have a lower crime rate than the average.
If I come here illegally and I work,
your data is full of shit.
No, let me give you an example.
Where I might not be willing to go rob a bank, I would be willing to jump a border to go work a job to feed my family.
Okay. Hold on, and that's fine. If I come here illegally, right, and the cartel helps me get here. Right, because most of them have somebody that helps them get
you always
here.
got to add in bullshit.
No. This is well. I mean, I'm adding context because it's important. If they come here, because a lot of these illegals, I get it. No, hold on. All right, listen. I'm going to give you an example that's easily looked up. This is a thing that happens all the time. They come here, and this is a small crime. They come here illegally. They have the cartel help them here with the El Coyotes, right? And they get in here, and they go, and they're working. And so Consuela now has to pay them, and she never commits another crime. And the only thing she does is pay a fee. For 30 years, every month, pays them $30 to the cartel. Now, that's not that big of an issue, except for the fact that she's now funded this cartel for 30 years with a consistent stream of revenue, right? Because she came. Now, I feel for Consuela. She just wanted to come here for a better life and work. However, she's still funding crime that's going to fund these people to do more crimes against us in the long run. It's a system. That's the problem. You have to start taking out the cogs. Yeah, it says boo-hoo for some of these people, right? And it's sad because most of these people are probably good people. But like, if you have to start somewhere and you have to start pulling the threads if you want to hurt these big, massive, semi-autonomous governments like the cartels are.
No, it's people doing drugs who are a lot more responsible than that lady paying taxes for 30 years.
I'm not paying taxes.
As I've listened to you today, just about everybody but the folks on your farm would have to go.
Yeah, they're all legal. And aren't you the same people who say that everybody came in because of the fucking the fucking broken systems and everything from Biden? You guys you're talking off two sides of your fucking mouth. It's super pathetic. It can't all be because of the asylum process that
I didn't say it was all the asylum process.
Oh, yes, you have.
I didn't say it was all the literally yesterday with Bones. Hold on, this is fake news. I literally last night said the maximum amount of people that are asylum here are 2 million. It's not the 15 million, the 20 million. I quoted this last night. So you're lying now. Like we could go back in the tape and watch me say that.
You guys fucking you're fucking couldn't be more full of shit.
I mean, you're putting the words in somebody else's mouth.
Problem. And here's the thing: you always take one little thing and then blow it out. Now, can we hear about the lady that got raped till she died and all that bullshit?
I mean, that also happened.
Pathetic, fucking emotive arguments.
I mean, they are the real examples. I'm sorry that these are real arguments. They're literal cases that happen all the time.
Quit pretending like this is the entire problem.
It is a major problem. It's multiple problems.
Argues that coyotes are a problem. Nobody's made that fucking argument. This is why
I'm making the argument that they're a problem.
Have to build up straw men to fucking knock down.
It's not a straw man at all. I mean, the problem is
nobody fucking made.
It's not a straw man. It's not a straw man. Listen, Ben, I know you don't like things.
These
are real things that actually happen all the time. I give you other examples, and I have the articles that, like I said, there's a whole section of my Discord.
Emotional stories. Let's do
emotional stories. Yeah, I mean, like Trin de Agua destroying a apartment complex here and 400 people losing their houses. That's it's not a real argument because that didn't happen. 400 people didn't lose their living situation here due to Trin de Agua. It didn't happen.
Is that the entirety of immigration? Is that?
Is that part of immigration? It is a major part.
I believe it was because Biden opened up the floodgates.
I mean, it was partially Biden. It was also other people before Biden. But yeah,
is Biden a coyote?
Biden empowered the coyotes. Yeah, so he's
Biden a coyote?
No, he's not physically a coyote or not metaphorically
All
a
right, did
coyote.
the people come in for the asylum process come in through coyotes, or did they come in through government?
Do the asylum people come in through the coyotes? No, the asylum people will only make hold on. Once again, this is bad faith, because last night I argued and I said this, and this is my literal word for word quote, it was 2,424,000. I might be wrong in the last 20,000 of people that are here in America waiting for their asylum claim to be processed, and of that, only 9.9% were going to get passed. Now I said, so the maximum amount of the 14 to 40 million that all these people say estimated here illegally, the maximum amount of that could be 2.4 million. Now that doesn't equal out to all of these people. So don't put words in my mouth that I didn't say when we could go check the tape from 8 hours ago.
Just make their way across the border on their own. There's not people that use other means like the Asians you were mentioning earlier. I actually looked up the statistics on that. They are coming. Weirdly, they aren't coming through that southern border.
The Chinese agents are. The Chinese agents are. That we have evidence of that as well.
They're coming through on ships. So
they're literally was a story last week about this too. I'm sorry you don't read the news. Maybe you should read the news sometimes like that. I guess that's why you like to talk about philosophy, not politics.
I also read your study and back, which didn't back up what you said at all.
It literally backed up exactly what I said. I'm sorry
that
you framed
it. You had to try it. I read the actual statements from the fucking study, and then you had to try and twist it, and then also put.
I don't have to try to twist anything.
Like fucking lifetime
word for word.
Oh, let's get your tears going so you can't think.
The only person whose cortisol is worked up is yours right now, Papa.
I'd like to hear from Nova.
Like, calm down. It's okay.
What do you want to hear from me?
Yeah, what do you have to say, Nova?
It's kind of hard to isolate one specific problem when one specific problem branches off into so many areas that you can't actually just do that one particular argument and stay on it on point. It's not going to work. It's like when we were talking about, what was it the last time? Something about the fucking security laws and all that shit. And it's like, okay, well, that law covers this, but then by the time you get done with Homeland Security and everything else, it starts to cover all those other laws that get violated with terrorism and all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with Gibbs. Sorry, I'm with Gibbs. That's my homie.
That's right. Tell him.
I got a funny story if you guys want to hear it.
Let's hear it.
All right. Sure. So the last time I did one of these panels, right? And it was the craziest. It's the craziest thing, right? So as like a troll job, I was like, so you're okay with unvetted ICE agents, meaning like they don't have the proper training. They have less training than police academy training before they go out into the field and start beating the crap out of people, right? And when I said unvetted, they thought that I was saying that these people are illegal immigrants, right? And would you believe I didn't even know about the story? There was a story that same day about an illegal immigrant posing as an ICE agent. How crazy is that? But that speaks to Balderson's point that they'll take anything, any way, flip it around, twist it around. And I think I was pretty clear that I was addressing the fact that the ICE agents have no training, and they turned it into ICE agents are illegal immigrants.
But unvetted doesn't mean a lack of training. Unvetted just means that they have not.
They don't do background checks. That's what I'm saying. They don't check their background. They don't know who they are.
Easy. I'm inclined to agree with you. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, we got men in today's day and age posing as women. Like it's not out there.
That's a big problem.
You should really vet that. You should definitely vet that.
People in 50 years, people are going to look at us and say we were the dumbest generation, that we couldn't even figure out the difference between a man and a woman. People are going to look at us like that in 50 years.
Well, shit. Okay. Hold up. So easy. You're not a liberal?
I'm a liberal, but I don't believe in transgenderism because it puts a huge strain on the healthcare system and victimizes the person who transitions.
You're not really a liberal.
Hey, I'm more liberal than the Democrats.
Do you want to know something funny, Easy? Maybe if we had less illegal immigrants in the fucking country, we could afford to, vet all the fucking agents. There's a 9000 idea.
But yeah, no, I'm not with the tranny stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, they're training.
Sorry to disappoint you.
If it has an apple,
you're not a
has a banana.
I'm not left, right,
it.
center, blue, red. I don't. So my position is that I don't even vote because I don't want to get in your way because I don't care. I have specific goals in life, and the government has no. And the government, the illegal immigrants, the trannies, they have no bearing on what I do with my life or how. Like my day to day doesn't change, depending on who's in office. I supported Biden. I support Trump. I supported Obama. I loved Obama. Probably more than most of the presidents that we had, and he's the king deporter and the most bomb dropper out of any president that we've ever had. So I was fond of the one Bush. I wasn't too fond of the first Bush. I mean, I liked Clinton, you know.
How?
Yeah, with respect, I don't think if you don't vote, I don't think you have a leg to stand on complaining about America if you don't vote.
Why the fuck would you not have a leg?
I'm defending America.
Why would you not have a leg?
Not defending American values.
Like because I didn't think
generations.
And I didn't think
10
Kamala
generations
fighting
fighting for the country.
I don't get to say
do what
that
I want.
shit.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Boulder?
I said, because I think Trump's a piece of shit, I wouldn't let fucking watch my dogs. And I thought Kamala was a piece of shit that I wouldn't let watch my dogs.
I'll send them to the Haitians.
Well,
I don't
know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I served in the fucking army and I'm a landowner and fucking everything else. I don't get to say so just because I didn't want to fucking be involved in the Democrat and Republican bullshit game where they fucking pretend like they give us a choice.
Right.
Well, Crowd, I just don't want to get in your way, bro. Like, if you want to vote for somebody and you want them to win, I don't want to get in your way.
Okay, but 10 generations in a row, that's my response back to you. From the Revolutionary War, all the combat wars since then, ending with me, I think I'm allowed to make my decision for myself.
Like, dude,
you don't like it, but
like, dude, guess what?
I think I just turned the whole panel against me.
Guess what? It's a uniparty, bro. The one thing that we can say is that they're going to definitely, both sides are going to do is fuck you. Guess what? When you look at actual things, not the things they talk about on the news, things like, guess what? When they passed the Patriot Act, it was the biggest robbing of your rights that's ever happened. Now, what people don't know about the Patriot Act is every 90 days for something like fucking 20 years, they came together and bipartisanly fucking voted to keep that shit going because they're like, fuck these guys. Hell yes, we're down. This is why all politics today is wedge politics, because it's all these things that don't really matter for the general lives of the American, but they get fuckers to argue about. And so you just got to step back and go, guess what? Neither of these sides is going to do what I want. Congress has the approval rating of fucking herpes, as does Donald Trump, as did Kamala fucking Harris. That none of these people do a good job. Why should I fucking put my name on that system?
That's a good point. And what I said, I'm not 100% on. That's like, yeah, Boulder. I don't want to. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point.
Balderson, do you feel bad that you made Clay rage quit?
No, I do not. I get a kick out of it a little bit.
But you could have defended me earlier, though. You know.
Hey, hold up! I just got to say,
you're the new guy, and so you need to take the hazing.
No.
I just wish we would have mopped the floor with you a little bit more with the things you were actually saying instead of pivoting to pretending like you were saying some super libtard shit, because you weren't making a prescription of we should let in immigrants. You were saying that this is the way it is. This is the reality of it. So now that we're looking at the reality of it and we're weighing and measuring it, can't we possibly say that the people that are providing into the system and working but not receiving the benefits of the system are a net positive to said system? Well, the obvious mathematical answer on that is yes. Now, I do agree with Clay that the legal implications and the moral implications of that are definitely a problem, but you weren't making a case that was a legal and moral thing. In fact, when you were questioned about it 3 separate fucking times, you legitimately said, no, if somebody breaks in my house, if somebody does something illegal, that's not right. That's not right. Fucking you specifically said it. So I just argue against your argument. I'm not even saying you were fucking right about anything. I'm saying argue your argument.
Hey, Balderson, I got a question for you real quick. Am I still your Germanic brother?
Absolutely. When the minute the fucking Thunderdome shuts off and we hit end, I feel none of the feelings that I felt. Spin and I get into fucking fights every other fucking panel, and then at 20 minutes after the panel, we're on a fucking empty fucking thing that's not being streamed, bullshitting. This is the same thing with Clay. This is how it goes with friends. You go behind the woodshed, you duke it the fuck out, and then you go laugh at everybody else. This is what dudes do.
I wouldn't want to go. I would not want to go behind the woodshed with Easy. The gleam off his fucking head.
I'll blind you.
Hey, nah, you know, I'm fixing to get off. So, Spit, if I can have, I know you always let us have.
I don't need to know that you're fixing to get off. Shut up, Ben.
We already had a shower last night. Come on, Kraut.
Go ahead.
What's
Kraut.
crazy? Easy looks like my fucking brother-in-law. I ain't even gonna fucking lie. Every time you pop up, hey, brother-in-law, what's up? But to state what this what we've been talking about for the last hour, I may have missed Easy's argument in general, but I know he did say he's okay with illegal immigrants coming in. Bodie, you made a case about rich kids not wanting to work, so who's gonna fucking do it? I get that, but to Easy's point where he's okay with illegal immigrants coming into this country, I think I made two strong solid points where they can't read English, and like the guy in Florida killed 3 people because he don't know how to read.
Do you happen to know what the average reading age of the American is?
Oh, I know. It's like below 3rd grade, bro. Trust me, I know, man. The education system in America is something.
I'm saying Americans can't read English.
I get that, bro. But also to the second point, it's really about culture. I may say this before. I got 2 Puerto Rican brothers. It's really not maybe there's some Republicans out there that don't want illegal immigrants because they're different colored than them. I got 2 Puerto Rican brothers. I fucking despise racism. It's ultimately about culture for me. That's what it is. Now, if you got if you got somebody who's been here for 20 years working off a visa and he forgot it, I'm open to discussing, not deporting him, but hey man, you got 30 more days to fill that shit out, much like the DMV does with us when we change our address. We got to update that shit. I'm open to discuss that point.
But you understand most of the illegal immigrants do their best to fucking turn into ghosts, to actually assimilate into the culture. It's actually the legal guys, a generation or 2 down the road, that are little fuckwads. Like their parents busted their ass to get them here. And these kids who never suffered anything from the old country, this is part of why when you watch them protest, that kid with very slightly brown skin that speaks perfect English, guess what? That's not an immigrant. That is an American fucking kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would, I would agree, Boulder. It's been fun, again, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm going to do more research like I always do after the panels and try to educate myself even more, because the second you think you know everything is the fucking day you fail. Much love. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace, crowd. Have a good night. Enjoy your time.
Peace.
Night, crowd. Have a good time getting off. Enjoy getting off. Y'all should.
Hey, y'all, fuck out of here.
It's good for the heart. It's good for the heart.
He actually hit us with some good wisdom there. Hold on, let me fix this before I hit with this banger line. He hit us with some good wisdom there. I think it was like Aristotle or Plato that once said, "A wise man knows that he knows nothing." Well, I know that I know nothing, but about having the best takes on the internet, baby. Woo!
Yeah, that was Socrates, I think.
Yeah.
That's right. So if we're all playing this game, right, where we're trying to give the government as little involvement as possible, and the game right now is capitalism, right? It might change in the future, but that's the game, right? The game is exit the system, or use the system to your advantage to elevate yourself to a level of immunity from the system, right? So why would you want your children in the most expensive time to live in ever, also with the most opportunity, with loopholes in tax codes, where the people who don't earn any income don't pay any tax? Why would you want to kick your kids out at 16, 17, 18 years old when you can have them stay at home and start playing the game at 16, 17, 18 years old, to continue to build your generational wealth, as opposed to like going out and getting a job and trying to earn money?
But don't
Well,
pay
I left at
tax on
16,
no
and my
wealth?
kids were
What?
with me until 21 and 22. I
That's
made
awesome.
sure they got trained, and then I supported their education and gave them their inheritance both before they were 25.
That's a smart man. They need it now. They don't need it when you're dead. They don't need it. They need it now.
Well, possibly. It depends on the kid, man. Now Santa here is living off grid and promotes his kids to fucking work and shit. If your kid's been a basement dwelling bum that plays video games, I sure as fuck ain't giving him a fucking inheritance right now. Like, maybe I'll give him an inheritance that's due to you achieved some achievement. You went through an apprenticeship as an electrician and now you're a fucking a journeyman electrician or something like that. Sure. But this is one of the problems with where we're sitting is we as Americans have too many kids that have no desire to work and their parents pay for it.
But you just did something beautiful though, because when you send them out to work, right, the amount that they earn and their amount of rewards is determined by somebody else, right? Somebody that has nothing to do with your family, that doesn't have your values, that doesn't have anything going on, like that doesn't have any vested interest in their future. You just said if they achieve something, in my opinion, if they do something important, in my opinion, like do something good, like equivalent to like help, like in the simplest terms, helping an old lady across the street or going to a soup kitchen, then I can reward that. That's very different than saying go out and work and make money.
I mean, I think there is one exception though to what Bob was saying, because I agree about the kids need to go out and do shit. Listen, if they're fucking the Michael Jordan of COD and they're making bank, they can have a penny iota if they're able to parlay that into success. I don't care what they do as long as they're like successful at it, but there needs to come a time when you know that you're not going to do something, right? Like I said, I did wrestling, right? I was D1 wrestler, but I was the worst ranked D1 wrestler, like period. Like I was, but I was still D1, right? But I knew that they're like, okay, despite like my gift of gab, and
I was the worst
ability,
among the best.
Right? Yeah, hey, it's still something, right?
It is.
What was that basketball player? Like, yeah, I'm like compared to you, I'm closer to LeBron than you. Anyway, I don't know. The point is though, I knew that I would not be going to WWE. I didn't have the I knew my health wouldn't take it. I knew that I couldn't stay physically, whatever. I knew it wasn't big enough. There comes a line. I knew I wouldn't go in the NFL, right? Because I'm not 6'4", like 500 pounds. You know, like so. There's a time where like, yeah, if you can be successful, you have to know when your like limits are to that, right? Like, oh, I came into Halo, but I came into Halo like as a pro at age 5, and there was no money to be made as a pro unless you're like the top 2. But you know where there was money to be made? And the announcing, right? So like, if you're smart enough to like do that, I think that's the exception. But 99% of these kids, they're thinking they could be a streamer or something, and they're really like got the personality of a pig. Like,
I was literally just looking at the stats from the site that I sent it to Spin, and it shows what the top YouTubers are getting paid, and the list drops off fast. Like that top 10, they're making money. After that, they start getting into fucking less than what you're going to get at some of your 9 to 5s. Like, and that's only in the top 100. And there's a freaking 10 million.
Well, then you'll see something that'll make you really mad. So this guy on Twitch named Scary Cheese, he averages 15 viewers. He's in the top 5 earners every fucking month. The guy's got like fucking 10 Saudi princes in there that pay him like 20 grand a night to pour like chocolate milk all over himself and shit. Like, I'm like, damn, I wouldn't sell my values out, but for 20 grand, I might pour some rock milk.
Huh?
Like, we didn't know. We're on the wrong circuit.
Well, what they don't tell you though is that the real money is in a studio deal. So if you could get a studio deal, or you could get paid under the table as controlled opposition, like an illegal immigrant, that you could do too. But a studio deal is the only way that you can make money off.
Only real money is when the government gives it to you. That's why there was such a rash of hard left wing fucking during the Republican years, or I mean the Democrat years, there was such a rush of hard left fucking streamers because they were being supplemented by the government. That's honestly by most businesses today is if you're successful, it's because you're being supplemented.
You just made my joke into a serious thing.
It's true.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have humor here. It's against the rules. This is motherland for the motherland, Russia. You know, like,
So how about the infrastructure?
you will make joke when Stalin says okay.
Yeah, but you know what? On the YouTube thing, the common basement
Putin now.
dweller is maybe making $400 a month, and he puts that right back into his game.
Well, I don't think it's even 400. Actually, 400 is pretty high. In fact, the other day, Derek, anybody in here know who Derek Bros is?
I don't
know. For independent political media, yeah, Gibbs knows who he is. For independent,
not for sports guy, Derek Bros.
No, Bros.
Oh, good no.
He's
Bros.
Independent media, and he's a big name in independent media. That guy makes $700 a month. He just fucking put out a thing because he wants to start his own station. He's like, I got to make $1,500 a month. That guy's making $700 a month, and he does shows constantly. He goes on tours and meets people and shit. That guy is making $700 a fucking month.
That guy Ben that Andrew debates all the time. He makes money, right?
Ben Thorpe,
Shapiro, I think.
Brian.
Oh yeah,
Brian Shapiro.
Shapiro's got his own company. That's completely separate from YouTube. He's got they make movies. They're a giant media company.
It also depends on how you. I mean, if you want to get this is something. If you want me to nerd out for a second, so like, okay, I'm getting close to partner on Twitch, right? When you get partner on Twitch, for example, they'll give you a better revenue cut, and then they have like sponsorship deals that they exclusively give to partners. They promote you in the algorithms. I know YouTube's got something similar, but like, what the other thing is on top of that is how you monetize, right? So like, y'all met my friend Modi. Some of y'all like him, some of y'all don't, but he's monetized his shit. He makes more money than a lot of the partners do because the way he's monetized. So he'll do like subathons, and then they'll pay like $5 and something will happen, or they'll pay like get $25 and then this will happen, right? Or then you'll see that over here. Same thing with Sarah's like got the their little things. Now, see, I don't do that as much, right? Like I've only pushed subs like recently because it's a metric that they want for you to get partner, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna push subs. However, the way I monetize, I have like mine like on ad spam. My shit's free, but if you have me tuned in on Twitch, you're fucking getting ads, right? And they have picture, or I push Twitch Turbo, and so there's like different ways to monetize it. And each platform, you probably have different methods. So like, it just really depends. Like when you're talking about pros, he's probably like he's coming from like a purist standpoint. What company did he used to work for? He used to be like he was a pundit.
I think he works. Does he work with Last American Vagabond?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure exactly which one, but I know he's working some major work for. So like he's probably like coming on his own. So he's like starting out, and he probably hasn't figured out how to monetize the individual thing. Versus like when y'all mentioned Shapiro, he's got a radio show that he's monetized with like there's so many different ways like with this kind of shit to monetize.
I agree, but the point is,
it's hard.
What 100 of the fucking top 100 of the streamers is making meaningful money. This is no different than every kid played baseball, but only fucking like 1 in a fucking million kids is actually going to go make money playing baseball.
Well, right. That's what I was saying. It's funny because then you have somebody, like I said, Modi, who literally is able to live off this, and he's not like partner, doesn't have partner numbers. He's like 30, 40 average range, which is, and like, not that's bad. That's really good. You're in the top like 4% with viewers there at that point. But like when you're doing that, like it's funny because like this guy is able to monetize and make more money than some of these people that have like thousands in their video chats. And it's like all about like the methodology. And like, I think that one of the things streaming has done is given so many people a voice and an ability to make money as a side hustle, like hanging out with their friends and doing this. But like the thing it doesn't teach is like how to be the business aspect of this, like at all. Like unless you have that, like a lot of these people are never going to move past being able to be like lower middle class, despite having mad success in streaming.
Yeah, no, there's an old money and a new money. That shit's real. Old money understands what to do with their fucking money. And new money, they go out and spend their money. There's no investment in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I just wanted a big studio to see my face and just put me on.
Yeah, most.
I'm okay with that. Like APAC, hey, I'm for sale. You can send me the money.
I remember when I learned that fucking it was actually from bands, and some of the bigger bands I was seeing on MTV and shit like that. Those guys were fucking selling T-shirts to eat dinner. Like,
oh yeah, like or tap out.
I'm not a T-shirt salesman, bro. I'm not a T-shirt salesman. That's not gonna work for me.
These guys don't know about like that shit. Like they don't do that like any. I mean, some do. There's like some people in every generation does, but like y'all remember like tap outs are they're like a multi-million-dollar company that like that because they went to every UFC event just sold cool shirts to like people like outside of them. Like, you know, I it's sad because we don't see as many of those things anymore. There's
well,
so cool
these kids find their value because of what the standards that they're used to, which the standards that these kids grow up in, and I did it myself to my kids. You know, my kids had it so much better than I ever dreamed of having. But then what happens is now they feel like they're lowering themselves when they have to live in not those standards. And the fact is none of us started out living those standards. Fucking my first job sucked. My first apartment sucked. My first car sucked. All that shit sucked. But again, you know, I'm old enough that my first job was when the fucking federal minimum wage was still, I think it was $3.75. And I was making $4 1/4 because I was fucking the evening supervisor at the feeding seed. So I was making way more money than the other guys.
I think another thing that really has contributed to this is like the parasociality. I don't think like they've ever been able to have this close of access to like people that think are like celebrities. And I'm not gonna say who I'm thinking of, but there's a streamer I know, and this person like was like huge on like a huge fan of this other streamer, right? And then this person ended up like I was like, oh, is this like a 1,000-person streamer? No, they're like a 200-viewer Annie, which is really good, right? But that's not like that's not like Kai Cenat or Asmongold or like not like the name. I'm like, okay, and this person was like starstruck when they like met them like at TwitchCon, and I'm just like, okay. And so then I'm talking to this person. This person's like living like maybe probably making 40, 50K a year, not bad, respectable, but like they're not like living high on the hog. And like it's crazy because they have this parasocial idea of what this person's life is like, but it's not even necessarily manufactured, but it's like because they are in this in group that they put themselves in, and the algorithm feeds this like echo chamber. It like they like put so much priority into like this kind of click, like you were saying, these kind of things, and like their sense of value is also skewed because they think they matter about like aren't actual important things to people. Like in the real world.
Are there any Bible readers here that because I know Andrew once told me that Jesus's outfit was worth like some ridiculous amount of month's salary or something like that, and so I just want to say like even Jesus was a hype beast.
Those were the undergarments, yes, and they threw lots for it. Yeah, they casted lots.
He had some fancy britches.
Yeah, he had that fucking. Gucci.
So much for a poor carpenter, huh, guys?
What you're really paying for is the sweat stains.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Man had the Gucci underwear.
I wonder if he had the ones with like the nut flaps. I like the ones.
He could have just zapped.
Yeah, he had rabbit motifs on it, Ben.
Oh yeah, no, he had that. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on, I got something for this. This is courtesy of Ant.
Santa Bible. That's pretty good, Santa.
I have the Tanakh as well.
Oh.
It's important to be well read and experience different things in life so that we can broaden our perspectives.
Yes, it's like opening yourself up to different culture, right? Right? Older movies, older music, things.
Illegal immigrants.
And like Gibbs said before, being in different countries will give you a different perspective.
Yeah, I tell you what, like I ate cat in another country. It's pretty cool. I'll tell you the line that I drew was it was so yeah, they put the cats in the chicken
Toasty illuminated alpaca manuscripts kicking that snail's ass.
That's funny. Yeah, so like they put these cats in like the chicken coops, right? And I guess they have what they call like python adders, and they'll climb up under the chicken, and they have these like really long fangs, and they'll eat the eggs, right? But what'll happen is since they eat the eggs, they're slower. But every once in a while, somebody pick it up, and a snake will bite them. So the cats are in there to kill it. So what happens if they eat all the eggs? Well, then guess what? Looks like you're eating that cat for dinner because there's about 1 million stray cats like all around these villages. So they throw the cat in there, and they're like, I'm like, I'm not eating that. They're like, well, then you're not eating. I haven't eaten like 3 days. So I was like, we're eating that shit. And I'm not. I tell you what, I drew the line on was the mosquito burger shit. They're like I don't even know if they're mosquitoes. They're just flying bugs. They're like catching them and squashing them, and then like I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna good on that one. I'll eat the same already.
That like a fisherman and just go like that and swoop it and break a pile of them and just start.
And then they just squish it in like. Yeah, then they put it in like I don't even know what kind of oil it was. It was like from some kind of seed. Like, yeah, this will be good. I'm like.
All right, gentlemen, we have been streaming for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Please, if you will, in the chat, please donate to Mr. Benjamin Balderson or the Cash App or the Venmo on the screen or any other creator, please, to keep the stream going. Back to you, gentlemen.
I also ate the python adder. It was pretty good. But I've eton rattlesnake many times. In Texas, we have the rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake's good.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Good. When we first moved to California, my son, I had a son and a nephew that were about 6 months apart, and I had raised my nephew. And them two little shits were going out and killing rattlesnakes like mad. And my mom finally got pissed off. She's like, I'm done cooking rattlesnakes. Not happening anymore.
I think I killed 2,000 on my ranch last year, and like because they have the rattlesnake rounds, and you could pay like $15 to race a snake. And some people bring like world championship snakes over there. I didn't know it was this big a thing. My buddy won it with a $15 snake.
Howard wants you to put that up again.
And they gave him $50K and a fucking golden fucking trophy that was like a rattlesnake. Like it was. I'm like, bro, how much money y'all making on these fucking snakes? That's what I want to know. You give away $50K and a fucking gold dipped rattlesnake. I'm like, that's something. But that shit's good as you fuck to eat.
Easy. The next one, and New York City, they're beating everything up. They're trashing buses. They're doing everything. What the hell, man?
Nobody told you were going to be safe.
Right? Wow. These people are crazy as shit, man.
We got a rattlesnake for the bad
time.
Yeah.
Got the thing. So I gotta check that out.
Oh wow, that's
cool. That's right.
That's cool. You showed that rattlesnake who's boss.
Yeah, right. Sure did.
Personally, every time I saw a rattlesnake, it was a little baby. It surprised me, and I just, out of instinct, stamped it right away.
Those are the ones you want to watch out for. The bigger ones won't hurt you. The little ones don't have full control of their venom glands yet, so they'll like dump all their venom into you. Versus like a big one will be like, no, I'm going to try to use as little venom as possible because I know I'm not actually going to kill this guy.
You mean like a virgin?
19-year-old boys.
I've heard that before, but I've also heard it could be a myth.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not fucking around with them to find out. My homegirl got bit by a rattlesnake, and she like has these like looks like varicose veins like permanently all over her leg from where like she got bit. It looks pretty.
Oh
gross.
God!
My dog got bit in the face, and fucking. We went to the vet, and the vet's like, "Are you sure it was a rattlesnake?" And my daughter's like, "Yes." And she goes, "How are you sure?" And she goes, "Because I killed it. We have it." And the nurse, my daughter's like 9. The nurse like, "What do you mean you killed it?" She's like, "Yeah, I just hit it with a rock."
Because fuck them. That's why. The Lord said, and the snake will bite at the heel of man, and he will crush his heel, stamp his heel down on the head of the serpent. Or some shit like that.
Okay. So.
Sounds like the panel's winding down a little bit.
A little bit.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's freaking hot today.
We're going to talk about the weather now?
Yeah, now we're really struggling with talking about the weather.
I know.
I got some topics we can talk about. You want to get fired up?
High energy.
All right.
Later.
Bye.
Bye, Santa. No, but now you're going to become the weather girl.
Oh, God. And today it's 102 degrees. We have thunderstorms coming in from the East Coast. I don't know what to say right now, but it's fucking hot out here and muggy.
Yeah, it makes it hard to be high energy.
Sometimes, yes.
Just zap you.
I'm surprised my hair is frizzy as shit.
The frizzy hair.
Oh,
I forget the dry shampoo or something.
Mamacita, you like frizzy hair, huh?
I mean, I like all hair. Personally,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you know, I'm a man of a variety of tastes. Proclivity. I don't fucking know. Let me tell you one thing I hate though, and that is the humidity. It is a bitch in this fucking like state with the humidity. Like, oh my god, I'll just walk outside and I feel like I'm drowning some days.
Yes, I'm not used to it. I'm not tropical enough for this shit. I'm telling you right now.
I hated Georgia. You know, I was in the army, so I do PT in the morning.
My
take a
hair's fine.
shower.
Thank you,
I
Josh.
feel wet all fucking day. It's miserable.
Same in Fort Leonard Wood in fucking Missouri. Holy shit.
That Georgia heat, that'll get you too, bro. It's like you walk outside and it'd be like drops, literally just like floating in the air. I remember I was there for a conference or something. Well, I don't know why. And I had to wear a suit and I was just walking and it was like 102 with 120% humidity. I was just like, I didn't even know it was possible. Just like
I've only been to Georgia twice and I passed right through that motherfucker both times.
No
got
peaches for you.
Yeah.
Nowhere near beaches. We were.
She said peaches, I think.
I did. I said no peaches for you driving through like that.
The worst place
said because we're not sure who heard it correctly. Like,
I mean, Florida is bad for humidity, but the worst place was Savannah for me. Savannah, Georgia. I mean, I spent 2 days there outside, and it was just like you were sweating all night, even after a shower in like 68-degree motel room. It was that bad.
Yeah, that moisture keeps the heat locked in.
Yeah.
Where the dry areas get cold at night.
Sure. And that's what it was. That's what it was up north where, you know, like in Pennsylvania, when it got cold, it got fucking cold. I'm sure easy, like where you're from, you know, when it gets really fucking cold, it gets cold.
We get the worst of the worst. I mean, like places like Buffalo, they get lake effect snow, so like the driving is super treacherous during the winter. But not where I am. I mean, where I am, the winters get cold. They've been mild the last like 4 or 5 years, except for this winter. This winter was the worst ever. And then the summers get like brutal. Like today and yesterday were brutally hot and humid. And then it rained. It was like Florida. It rained for like an hour, and then it was brutally hot again at night.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that we get here in the southern states that they don't get in a lot of these other places, like worldwide, is we actually have a season, and I think you're all going to laugh and know exactly what I'm talking about. It's about a period of 2 weeks between like spring and summer where we have the great like gnatting. It's just all the bugs coming out and just like swarm and hang out in front of your doorstep, and you can't even walk at like 5 foot. It's about 2 weeks, and then it slows down to at least you can go outside and not eat like 50 bugs level. Like y'all experiencing that down there where y'all are at? I mean,
we have our bug
Obama
season.
diet.
We have our bug season here. Normally it's in the early fall, like whenever it like the heat drops off a little bit. And then the moisture, the sea breeze comes in, and it's just crazy.
You don't get spring bug.
And by the way, guys, if you use code Admiral Gibbs, Raccoon Pest Control will take care of you here locally. By the way, thank you guys. Anyway, sorry. I had to get my quick promo in there.
In South Dakota, we specifically have these things called mayflies that are only out in May. And these things will literally be a cloud that just comes across the land. Like you've never seen anything like it. It's a cloud of bugs and giant. And then all of a sudden one day they'll all stick to your screens on the side of your house and shit like that. And they're just dead. They're just done.
Well, I mean, I know like Pennsylvania area, they have the horse flies. I'm not saying that that's the only place. Those motherfuckers hurt when they bite.
Yeah, the biting flies.
Yeah, they fucking suck. And the other thing, nobody, I'm sure you have the fire ants down there. Those
do.
fuckers hurt too.
Yeah, they invade my house. Like my whole floor covered, a stack of 2 inches of bodies of ants everywhere along my walls.
You
It's
need
horrible.
pest control.
Yeah, I've got it now.
Unfortunately, red fire ants are pretty much all over North America now.
Yeah, I killed this big wolf spider not too long ago. This is like last year, actually. And like literally 3 days later, I started getting fire ants. And like this bitch was killing all the scouts, and I killed the thing that was killing the scouts. And now they're all in my house. And then I got orchid and I got rid of them. But I was like, damn, if I just not killed that fucking spider, you know, they're probably trying to, I was like, I'm probably going to save myself a couple grand. Yeah, sons of bitches. All right, boys, we're going to spice this shit up. This is not content. We're gonna spice it up. All right. Let me hear it. What is y'all's most embarrassing first date from all the married people here? Let's hear you, angry American. What's your most embarrassing dating story here, Papa? So tell us.
The worst?
Yeah. Yeah, like whatever you think the worst experience was. Maybe like she shit on you. Like maybe like you got stabbed by a raccoon. Like what is the worst here? Like what? Like maybe you fell down 15 flights of stairs.
The first.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord.
Was Amber Heard in the room?
It's really stupid, but it was the first date with her ever. I took her out, we had dinner, we went shopping, shit like that. On the way back, I hit a fucking deer.
Oh.
And totaled my car right like 5 minutes from her house. That's the worst. I mean, that's what I would consider the worst.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I ended up having to have her take me home. Now, when she took me home, we won't talk about that. But
oh,
that still does not remiss the fact that I totaled my fucking car.
That's true. That's very true.
That's
How about who wants to go next? Anybody? Any braves?
Oh, easy got to go next.
Oh, easy. You got to go next. All right, what you got for me?
I only have one bad story, right? And it's really a big nothing burger. So don't get your hopes
out somewhere.
So
and you got made fun of.
So I was going to college, right? And there was this really, really super, super, super hot girl. It wasn't even a date, right? She just happened to be going home, and it was during the 9/11 time when you had to have another person in the car with you to go over the bridges between the boroughs, right? Yeah. So I was taking her home, and I had no water in the car, and my mouth was so dry, right? And it was so bad that I couldn't even talk. And of course, 19-year-old EZ doesn't think like, just go to a store, like just stop the car. Nobody's going to care. I'm like nervous, but not nervous. Like I'm kind of like, I want to see where it goes. So like, she asked me like a bunch of questions that I gave 1-word answers to, right? Cause I couldn't talk. It was so dry. I couldn't talk. And then finally we get to our house, right? She kisses me on the lips, gets out of the car. And then the next day, she's like this dude like that's like older and like I don't know like a cool dude. Like she's like all of a sudden now his girlfriend the next day.
Oh,
that's tough.
Damn.
It sounded like you were just a booty call, Phil, kind of in a way, actually.
But I didn't take advantage of it.
Okay,
that's the problem. Didn't take advantage of it.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
Okay, embarrassing from my standpoint or my date standpoint? Pick.
I mean, either or why not both? I mean, there's a whole meme about that. Both,
Oh my
both.
God.
Yeah. See,
All
you're
right.
adding yourself out.
Well, unlike you bunch of slags, I was still a virgin. Okay. And I was on this date with this guy who had slipped me his number. I was working at Disneyland. He was an ex-military guy, and he had just gotten divorced, and I had no fucking clue. And I was still a virgin. Okay, gentlemen, so pay attention. So this guy, it's me in the back of the van. He's like, hey, you want to smoke some dope with me? And I never, first of all, I'd never done that either. I was a good preacher's daughter at the time. Now today's a different situation. And then afterward, when he was like, you want to go home with me tonight? I was like, maybe another night. So he walks me back to the door, and he goes to give me a kiss. And I didn't expect him to slip his tongue in my mouth, and he had a fucking tongue ring in there. And it freaked me out. And I went, anyways, he never called me back. I was too much of a virgin for that guy. There you go. That was one of my more embarrassing moments.
Damn.
Yeah. Don't ask how old I was.
I don't want to know.
I was 21. I was 21.
And you're divorced.
Easy.
And a virgin.
Now they got pubes going off in time.
No, I was 21. He was 23 or 24. Who's next? My virgin ass. Come on, boys. Give it up.
Right. Well, there's this one girl, and I thought she was down with going all the way, but when we got back to my place, and we're getting ready for the act, it turns out no, she was not down with putting the battery clamps on the sounding rod and the tongue.
Oh God.
Okay, that's enough out of Ant. Donald Trump.
Come on, Donald Trump. Tell us.
My most embarrassing date ever. Let's see. There's been so many women, so many possibilities. I think I'll just narrow it down to Melania. There was one time we ate a chipotle, and the next thing we knew, she was shitting all over the bed, shitting all over the pillow. I'd never seen anything like it. It was so embarrassing. I couldn't look her in the face after that again. After that, she suddenly sounded more Russian. It was very strange.
Amber Heard episode, huh?
Oh, watch out for the Heard.
She's the one that gave Amber Heard the idea.
Listen, I don't know. Are you sure it was Melania? Heard nailed Johnny Depp and Elon. Maybe Melania took the notes from her. What do you think? No.
I may or may not have files. I may or not have files related to that in the FBI databank.
The Melania files, I see.
Yes, the Melania files.
Are those going to be released anytime soon?
Going on there.
Yeah.
The Melania files.
I'm feeling like I can't tell any of my stories here. Y'all are all very, 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 very happy, like sheltered people. I've discovered. I think.
No, that means you have to tell us now. No.
I'm going to tell you something.
Give it up, baby.
Don't worry. I'm going to give it.
Come
I'm
on.
going to give you a little sample.
All right, let's go.
I'm going to tell y'all today, so y'all are going to get the most one because, damn, y'all failed me. But here, we'll start with it. So I have to tell you a short story before I tell the main story. So in middle school, high school, there was these people, right? Yeah, like they were dating, right? This guy, fantastic name. I'm going to dox him just because he makes a shitload of money and he's got the coolest name ever. His family was the Powers family, and they named their kids Ultra, Supra, and Max Powers.
Okay.
And so based, right? And so Max was like in my grade. He was dating this chick, beautiful girl, but she had braces. And this is like probably middle school. So everybody's just now getting sexually active that didn't already have kids when they were 12. But so they're all like getting going. And I guess she gave him a BJ and she like bit too hard or something. And she like skinned him. And he literally has grooves down his dick from her braces. Like a fucking cheese grater, like a potato peeler. He literally came to practice like a week later. He was like, check out my dick, like it's got grooves from the cheese grater. I'm like, and I started calling her cheese grater. Now this girl was a baddie, right? She grew up. She's super smart and a baddie. She's like a rich lawyer. She's like super hot, all this shit. So anyway, I get divorced after I moved here. I'm in law school, and I'm at some kind of function, and she happens to live in the city. And so we start talking. I'm trying to get her to sponsor me for something. And then we start flirting. She's like, yeah, you mind this guy? Let's go on a date. So we're on this date and we're sitting here and everything's going great. I've got this shit sunk in the
Spin City. 10. Breaking news, panel smoke, then he does it again. The bass in the morning, debauchery at night. He steps in loud and he don't back right. Clip it, post it, watch the chat explode. One more take, then he takes the road. He talks that talk with a grin and a stare. The other side's talking, he already there. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, he don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. Panels in a circle, everybody wants a turn. He leans in hard, let the hot takes burn. Protest on the ticker, riot in the thread. He talks over the chaos with a raised up head. Yell a little louder, make the point land clean. Cut through the noise like a headline machine. If they come for the room, he comes right back. One more clash and the whole beat snaps. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, he don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. When the mics get hot and the comments fly, he laughs at the noise and he calls